Oh, there we go. We're live. Hey, Ed. Is this working? Is it working? Yeah, cool.
Hi, Lovey, you're
Um,
amazing. Is this working?
I had to reload the watch page. It didn't do it itself. Um, so today we're just going to talk about a pretty simple topic, just about relationships in general, but then also because we're kind of in the modern age, like dating and relationships have changed a massive amount. So we're going to talk about that, the effects of like the internet and like technology apps and stuff on that kind of thing. Um,
Coolio.
yeah, so what we also wanted to talk about is Lauren Southern's videos. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. Um,
I haven't, but go ahead. You can describe it. I
Nope.
mean,
okay. Um, oh, did I send this to the person I said I was going to send this to? I think I did. Yeah, okay, cool. Um, oops. Lauren Southern is single. She's the same age as me. Um, and she was making fun of feminists because they have this whole attitude about it being empowering for you to be single, for you not to be interested in ever settling down with a person or starting a family. Um, with people. So she's kind of making fun of them and how they feel fulfilled in their life despite not having those type of things. And we all kind of know that she is somewhat an advocate for some more kind of traditional um, relationships and just is an advocate for traditions or at least not throwing them out or considering them as an option. So, what do you guys think?
well, I'm married and we started dating when I was in high school, so this was about like 2005. um, and the dating world has really fucking changed since we started.
Do you think that it would have been much harder for you if you had gotten into a relationship like later on?
What
If
do you
you
mean?
started the game later, would it have been harder to like make the relationship work?
I think it would have been fucked either way because of her parents and how she felt or they felt about things.
Oh yeah.
It would have been tough either way. I think it would have been easier if we had like the Facebook and the smartphones and shit so we could talk to one another, but I mean even in 2005 she had a fucking house phone and I had to, wait
What?
for her parents to go to bed. Hey
Yeah,
Melissa.
it's a lot easier
Sorry,
to keep
my boyfriend's
parents
being an asshole.
out of your relationships, and that's certainly a plus when it comes to
I'm just
people who are like alternative, who are like gay or lesbian, or growing up in kind of not very gay friendly environments, kind of with more traditional parents maybe or whatever. There's also a downside to that too though, because it's kind of easier for old men to approach young girls and stuff on the internet and
Oh yeah, to
kind of
catch a
like
predator.
them.
Oh yeah, like that kind of shit. Yes,
Yeah.
watching
absolutely.
me right over here.
And
Yeah.
catfishing. Well, we'll get into that later though. Let's start with something simpler. So yeah, so thoughts on traditional marriage, like traditional relationships, getting married. Getting married is not very common anymore,
No.
and it doesn't seem to last very long anymore either. Um,
I think 50% of marriages end in divorce, so yeah. I hope mine doesn't, for fuck's sake.
well,
Well,
how long
well,
have
the
you been
thing,
going on
well, the
for?
thing is, Wolfie, how long have you and the missus been together for?
Uh Almost 15 years.
Yeah, it ain't got fucking die anytime soon.
Yeah, if it goes that
Like,
long, it's kind of like, what are you going to do then?
you're
Like,
kind of like stuck with each other at that point.
yeah,
there's
there's 3 periods basically, like where the highest rate of divorce is. That's the 5-year mark, 10-year mark, and 20-year mark for whatever reason. Well, I mean, some of those reasons I completely understand. Like marriages that end after 20 years typically are marriages that end because all the kids are out of the house.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's time to go, right?
Yeah. My parents got divorced 25 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what some of that is.
Mine were simply never married.
My parents got divorced when I was 8, but they got married in 93. So I'm trying. So they were only married for probably only 10, maybe 9 years.
I have no idea how long my parents were together for, but like they did get married, but they separated when I was a baby, so I don't even remember them together really. And then they got divorced much later when my mom got remarried. But yeah, and tons of people I know as well kind of come from similar situations of having not having like two parents were together.
My parents recently just got remarried though, so I don't know.
Why would you get remarried? Wait, did they divorce first and then get remarried, or just kind of a...
So they divorced after 25 years, were divorced for 10 years, and then remarried a couple years ago, like 2-3 years ago.
That's so weird.
Isn't it? I think it's kind of cool though, because like, you know, love and shit.
I guess their divorce didn't end too badly.
No, the thing, like, I don't know, my dad was still in love with my mom, but my dad, like, really liked to fuck around. He wasn't all
That's
too,
nice.
well, he wasn't all too loyal, I guess, is the word. What's the word? Fuck.
Faithful, loyal.
Yeah, faithful, yeah. He liked women a lot. And then my dad lost his job.
Most guys do.
See, I'm more traditional when it comes to relationships. You know, like first base holding hands, second base hugging, third base close mouth kissing, and home run is anal.
Benny, I love you.
Okay, then.
I was going to agree with you, Benny, until the anal part, because that's what when I was dating women, that's what I would do. Take them out to dinner and a movie, and then walk them to their door, kiss goodnight, leave, and then keep on keeping on if I like her, you know.
Well, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure I'm the youngest one here, so coming from like the dirtbag millennial, relationships have really changed. Like people are fucking younger and younger. And I'm just like,
I know.
Why? I'm just like, why? Like, you need to, like, think about, like, your future and shit. Like, you're fucking 14. You shouldn't be thinking about sex, drugs, or anything. You should be thinking about school. Get an education.
Well, the education system is a joke, so it's hard to take that seriously.
Who needs the education?
I'm gonna choke somebody out.
Yeah, I know,
love you,
Thorn.
Thor, baby.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
choke somebody out, and it might be Sinatra.
Joke
Why?
me.
What did he do?
He's slipping. I'm just like, I kept saying, don't let him bury. Don't let him bury you in data. Don't let him bury.
This isn't my stream, by the way, honey.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm just letting you know.
Our topic is relationships and the effects of internet on kind of the dating scene and all of that.
Well, shut up. You tell me that before.
What?
Well, what? What did I do wrong now?
Who's playing a game and not talking?
Thorn, you're fucking up.
I'm talking. I was talking. I'm playing a game.
Okay.
What
Fuck
game
it.
is that?
This is City Skylines.
Okay, we'll just have this like playing. I'll do something on. This is what everyone's gonna watch for the rest of the stream. And they're gonna judge you.
Everyone just stay quiet and watch.
I I can't stay quiet. That's not.
half the time.
So someone in the chat says divorce is child abuse. Hey,
Alex,
Ed.
well, yeah,
I mean,
I
it's
want
negative, but
it's
I wouldn't say it's
negative,
that.
but I can see where they're coming from. Like,
Like, here's how awful single mothers are. Okay, kids in orphanages do better. Like,
Oh, really?
statistically, if
Wow.
you're in through the orphanage foster system, you're doing better than a kid raised by a single mother.
Oh my God.
Well,
Really?
Damn,
well,
that's some hardline fucking opinion
well,
right there.
well, I beg to
Oh,
differ for
Yeah,
like
so
coming from my
You
experience.
beg to differ. I'm not saying like individual cases. That's how it's going to work out. Statistically, a child's better off in the foster system than they are with a single mother.
Where did you get these stats? Like I'm pretty sure like children are better off, like especially psychologically, with their biological parents.
what?
Hold on, let me pull it up.
Oh,
Boobs.
Oh, baby.
boobs.
At least they're covered.
Oh yeah, it's just
But I would
Yeah.
think that it's better
At least
to.
they're covered? What is wrong with you? Were you gay?
Well,
I
first off, this is a live stream, and I don't want you to get your channel terminated for nudity. So I'm just looking out for you.
well, yeah. I don't typically have nudity on my Twitter feed, but it does sneak on there from time to time.
Yeah, it does.
Well,
I
mean, it's
definitely
Twitter.
wouldn't call it child abuse, but it definitely is a negative for the child.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
A lot of children do blame themselves because and in a way like children do cause a lot of divorces as well because there's a lot of people get married with having different like views on how they want to raise children. And then that causes lots of problem because they disagree with how the other
I mean,
person is presenting skills.
I mean, coming from like experience, I did blame myself for it for a short time, and I was like at a point, like in my life, that I was just
God,
potato.
single
You heard
parent adoption. So
Uh,
not only are you a bona fide fuck up, the state decides to give you somebody else. Fuck. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, like I when my parents were going through the divorce, I just went through like a period of time where I was just angry at everything, and eventually it got to a point where I had to go therapy for about a few years of my life, so I can see where most people would say like, oh, it affects the child in a certain way. In my case, yes. I don't know about like I can't say for like everyone else's case.
My parents are together, but one of my best friend's parents are divorced. And before they did so, she said that she remembers when she was little that her mom and dad screamed at each other constantly. And that for
Same
her,
with-
she didn't realize that there was, she's kind of glad that they got a divorce because it was just so much fucking stress for her. And she didn't even realize that there was another normal. There wasn't like families where people's parents didn't scream at one another. So that's
Oh,
not
fuck,
healthy either.
That's my entire life, man. My parents.
I mean, with me, I was glad that they did because that was just like one of those weights that was off my mom, but it did also bring other problems with like some other family members, but that I won't get into because personal shit. But when it comes to some divorces, or at least in my case, it gets a bit tougher because when I was younger, it was just like an argument back and forth of like who keeps who for like for like any period of time. But with me, I spent the most time with my mother because I lived in the town where I would have to go to school and everything. So I'd spend less time with my father. Eventually, it got to the point where we just basically said fuck it, and we just stopped seeing each other for a short amount of time. Obviously, my father, he's definitely not out of my life, definitely not, thank God. but I just found myself spending less and less time with him eventually as time went on.
Okay. Well, what do you think is the key in relationships for like them,
Definitely cooperation.
yeah, them not screaming at each other and then managing to stay together.
Like actual
And being
communication.
happy as well, because I know a lot of people just stay together and they aren't happy whatsoever either. So
But they stay for the kids.
yeah, but I gotta wonder, is there an actually happy couple who are married and stay married, and don't scream at each other and are like healthy and like is that exist?
It does exist, but it's very, very rare at this point in time because now since it's more of like communication with several other people from everywhere else, it tends to be harder for most people to actually try to stay faithful to one another. I mean, I'm not gonna try to speak for everyone. Everyone has their own story. They have their own past. They have their own experiences.
Look, relationships are work. Hard fucking work. I mean, I basically grew up with my wife, so I mean, we were stupid and, and then we went to college and then we did, I worked a lot of jobs. And the thing that's most important for me is that communication. You can't stop communicating. Like, I know people, or I've known of like my friends' parents who like just come home, eat dinner, and go to bed. They don't talk to each other. They don't do anything with each other to kind of keep building the relationship. And I think that's paramount to a relationship, especially nowadays, is to always keep that open line of communication.
My last church, we had a couple that said that the reason they were able to stay together so long is because they argued.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say we don't
It's a
argue.
weird
That's for damn
concept,
sure.
but
Makeup sex is the best.
Argument and like full on fight is two totally different things.
Oh no, we argue. We've full on fought. We've fucking, screamed at each other. We don't do makeup sex, though. That's one rule that she fucking laid down really early in our relationship is no makeup sex. So that's been interesting.
For the couple I just talked about, they had a rule that said they would never leave a room angry at each other. And they would never go to bed angry at each other.
I need my space if I'm angry. Like that would not work for me.
Well, it's good to set up rules and boundaries, I think, in a relationship, like, especially when you're in an argument. Like, no name calling, no throwing shit, Some things are obvious, some things aren't. But we had to do that early on in our relationship when we would argue. That,
I think I'm easy enough in a relationship because I like do not care about petty shit at all. Like you won't find me complaining about the toilet seat being left up or anything like that ever.
But why if you fall in?
I wouldn't fall in the first place. It's pretty retarded to actually fall into a toilet. Like seriously, what are you doing?
I don't know. I've never experienced that joy.
I mean, you kind of just fail as a human if you didn't check to see if the seat was down.
Yeah, but even if you go to sit down and nothing touches your ass, like, there's quite a big gap down into the actual toilet where the water is.
Why can't you look? Like, why? I look every time. I don't know. I guess it's out of habit. I don't know.
Despite the fact that you're both women, you still look. See?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I used to live with my dad. I mean, he would leave the seat up.
Yeah, that's why I look.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I just look.
I have fallen in the toilet, but it's only happened once, and after that I fucking checked because you learn.
But I mean, if you live with a man and he leaves it up, you just put it down. I don't know.
It's not like he's a woman and he peed all over the seat.
Yeah, women's bathrooms are atrocious. I will fucking say
They're really
that.
fucking bad.
Mm.
I used to be a porter. The women's bathrooms are always worse. Always.
Oh, really? I always
Yes.
found guys' bathrooms here to be worse.
No. There's like piss all over the seat, and there's blood up the side of the toilet. It's horrible. It's a horror
Yep.
show.
I would rather go into a men's bathroom, seriously. I've been in both. I would rather go to the men's bathroom every fucking time.
I
I
remember
always
there was
find
one
that
time where
it smells so much worse in the guys' bathroom.
It's
Yeah,
it's
but
weird
this-
because in elementary, everyone at my school thought that the girls' bathroom had like sofas and scented candles and all that stuff.
We all thought that at school.
That'd be a lie. We all know that's a lie.
Or you
Now
could,
we do.
Or you could be like me, and because there was an instance in school where we found a condom on the urinal, and someone stuffed an orange in it. They
the
just
hell?
left it there.
That's nice.
it's in the condom.
Why?
That's
They put an
Why?
they put an orange in the condom and just left it at the urinal.
Why?
I mean,
no one
why
decided
not?
to pick it up.
Because high school.
Yeah, this was high school.
Why
There was
not?
a dude that got expelled because he injected his fucking orange with vodka.
That's so
That
retarded.
is kind of dope, though. That's kind of dope.
Dumbest reason to
Mobile
get
screwdriver.
There was a
Yeah?
kid in my school that tried to sell a brick of weed, like during school, and he got arrested.
We had another dude that got suspended because, not because he sold pot on campus, he got away with that bit, but because afterwards a bunch of kids beat him up for it. It was oregano. It was
Oh,
oregano.
the oregano trick.
Okay then.
I used to drink vodka at school in water bottles. Never
Oh,
got
same.
caught.
I used to. One of the things we did was we would get Gatorade bottles and just put like half a bottle of vodka in it.
I have been a good boy. I've been a good boy.
Back to the actual conversations. How many of you guys dated in high school?
Me.
Me.
In high school,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I did.
I don't know. I think maybe one person in high school.
Yeah, a couple people.
Yeah, I think it was one person for me, but I don't even take it that seriously.
Middle
I,
school is when I did most of my dating.
You don't even
I took it super serious, I guess.
I dated a girl for
Super
like,
cereal? Super
I
cereal.
did. I took it super
Yeah.
serial.
I dated a girl for like 6 months in my freshman year. Then like all out through sophomore year, everyone just kept on calling me a douchebag for no reason.
Yeah, but in high school, can we really call it dating?
Yeah. Well, I
Yes,
mean,
you
like,
can.
it's in high
I married
school, that's
mine.
fucking mad.
I
Yeah,
married my high
depends.
school sweetheart. So, yes.
No, then we call that a life sentence, dear.
Mine lasted like 2
Not for
months,
me.
and we didn't
Hey,
even
guys.
do it. So
What I was talking about earlier, there you go. Like, that's how, like, single parent homes are about the worst thing that could happen to a fucking kid. They
Yes.
literally are. In terms of parents, your child is better off being in the adoption system than it is with a single fucking mother.
what if you get adopted by a single mother?
That would
It
never
gets
happen.
worse. It
That would
won't
never
happen.
happen.
It's not about the kid.
That
though,
won't
is it?
happen.
Oh well,
You
I
have
mean,
a
it
higher
happened
likelihood of
to
being
me.
adopted
Oh,
by
here
a
comes
lesbian
Cabbage.
couple than
Let's
anything
hear what
else.
he has to say.
It's
Oh,
the mother
fuck.
who wants all of the benefits. It's got nothing to
Shut
do
up,
with the
Cabbage.
child. Yeah,
Keep the parents together, otherwise this is your child.
bite me.
Old man,
Did we have the
old man
link
yells
for
at
the
clown.
hangout itself?
Nope.
I'll share it so we could get a little
If
bit
you
of an audience.
Put a kid up for adoption, it's almost always going to be a better situation for the kid, though.
Yeah, that's why. Like not long ago, Ann Coulter got on a stage in like one of these talk shows, and it was just filled with all these fucking single mothers, right? And she straight up got up there. She said, "Look, y'all would be better serving your kids by putting them up for adoption." And she wasn't fucking lying. It pissed them all off.
You know
but,
what? She'd be better served to shut the fuck up and go back to her stable. I fucking hate Ann Coulter. She really misses her.
Skeletor.
She misses her stable mate really bad.
But
Someone
she
is
wasn't
missing their
wrong.
horse. Someone is missing their horse somewhere.
But she wasn't wrong.
I mean, she can. You know what? The single mother thing. Like, I've seen the statistics. I've been in criminal justice classes. I've seen it. in person, but I still I just don't think that putting a child through our adoption process is so much better. You know, it's like our system is fucked up as it is. Why put an innocent child through that shit? You know what I'm saying?
Ask yourself, would you rather be adopted or be with your own mom?
I'd rather be with my mom.
I would definitely
well, don't ask me that question.
I mean, I've never met my birth mom, but I mean, she was like an honor roll student, all around a decent person. So
don't foster parents get paid?
I mean, actually, if I think about it, I would actually rather be adopted. I'd rather be adopted than be owned by either of my own parents or both of them. So
no, I actually, well, in my case, I'd actually be worse off if I was adopted because I have a few I have a learning disability and I had speech problems when I was younger, and without my mother and the classes that I had to take and the courses that I had to do, like it took a while for me to reach the speech that I'm at currently. And without my mom, I probably would not be here at this point.
Aww.
And the thing is, my mom's a nurse, so she helped me out when I would always get scratched up or whatever. If I was sick, she would fucking nurse me to health. And, I thank her for everything I fucking did. But I mean, I'm just saying from my personal experience. So
I mean, my wife, she's in social work, so she deals with kids from adoption agencies, kids in really impoverished, kids in really terrible spots, and I couldn't do what she does because of the shit she's told me about about everything, about being with parents, not being with parents, our adoption process, period. So,
Yes. Wait, hold up.
Here's a fun question. How much does that fuck you up for relationships? How much issues do your parents or not having your parents or just having bad parents in general fuck you up?
I don't know. I had a two-parent household, and I'm fucked up.
There's pretty group about women having daddy issues and just throwing themselves at men and stuff.
It's a pretty high population.
I mean,
I'm okay with women being promiscuous. That's just,
I think our divorce culture is why millennials are largely not getting married.
Say it one more time.
I think our divorce culture is exactly why millennials are largely not getting married.
Not necessarily. You have.
I don't think it's the divorce culture. I think it's the fact that people have weighed up.
I think
what's in it for me?
What's wrong with waiting until you're sure you're going to be with the person?
There's
nothing in it.
What's wrong with waiting until you make sure you want to freaking be with the person?
Because
no, but it's beyond that. It's worse than that. Because there's an awful lot to be lost by actually taking that, commitment. So a lot of people are saying, well, hang on, I could just lose a whole lot of shit in the future if somebody, whether it's a man or the woman, because obviously it works both ways nowadays, saying, well, holy shit, I could lose all my crap because, somebody gets pissy one day and, doesn't like what's happening. So
the laws that are pretty much gynocentric for the most part, women walk out with a greater deal than men, so most men are going to drop out of the situation. With the increase of the education in the women's spectrum, women are getting highly educated, so they're getting better paid jobs, where men are actually dropping out, so they're getting what is known as the trades job, though they pay well. But women tend to want to marry up. They're not going to get the $1 million, guy. They're not going to get their grays. They're looking for their grays. And unfortunately, they're not going to get them because we're not doing it anymore.
They're looking for a Learjet, not a spanner.
Yeah. And as for the men, they're marrying up for education. They want more women who are slightly educated and understand the plights. They don't just want a woman that's pretty much considered a yes person that's just looking for the golden goose.
No. I think you're wrong on that one. I don't think really men have never really shown one slightest.
No, actually, statistically speaking, they
aspect.
they actually have married for education. There's new statistics have come out especially in the United States, that they're marrying up for it just for the intelligence factor, nothing else. Where women are still marrying up for wealth and prestige.
Well, I mean, intelligence is sexy, in my opinion.
It is.
I mean, it is.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
My wife has a master's. I have a bachelor's. I don't.
You hate me, though, don't you, bitch?
I don't give a shit that she has a higher education than me, though. That's what she wanted to do, and I didn't fucking want to.
Correct.
I had enough school.
So basically, with all the different factors that come into play, you are looking at more and more people, both men and women, are opting out of marriage. Thanks to you got the feminist agendas and anything else you want to go with. Plus the conservative beliefs are also out the window. It used to be for a conservative, or at least somebody who is within that area, a little bit of ground rules of what courtship was, what the marriage was supposed to be, what the process afterwards, after you did get married, what was expected of you two. Now, no one knows. It's all guessing game. You can't even kiss a girl without having a sexual harassment suit against you.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. No, this is the problem.
You have to ask the girl, can I kiss you? And how much does
Why not? Why not ask the girl if, hey, can I kiss you? Shit, I've done that.
Yeah, oh, come on, look. I mean, the whole point is that
women don't want
feel a kiss or something like that. You know, I mean, and then women say, oh my God, you had to ask me if you wanted to kiss me. You know, I thought he'd fucking know I wanted him to kiss me. You know what I mean?
There's only a small population of you who want that.
Not all, but that's the whole point. Hashtag not all. Fuck.
Most of us
but permission, I mean, asking for permission,
Jesus.
I think
is it okay if I touch you here? Is it okay if I
pretty much. Why not?
Well,
Why
it's okay if I touch you there?
Well, again,
fuck me, yeah. What a fucking robotic society.
What's wrong with a surprise kiss for your girl?
I think it's a really bad sign if they aren't able to read the body language.
I'm not taking the soul out of society.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. If you just started dating the girl, I don't know. I'm not going to just be like, hey, can I feel up on your titties? I'm not going to do that.
No, but there are natural things. Like if you're moving towards somebody and they can make a clear, gesture that that's not welcome, and that's, the person should be, reasonably capable of
I don't know. I guess I try to be a gentleman when I date. I don't know. I try.
The point
Most
is,
guys are. Most guys are, but again, now we're getting into
anyway. You're not meant to be dating. You're fucking married.
So what? Even when I was dating, I mean,
I don't know. I don't want to date a guy like that. Like I view that as kind of insecurity that you don't already know, like that person's into you.
And that's the problem. And that's where the mixed message is.
I don't think it's insecurity. I think it's
confidence is sexy.
Ask.
I mean, if you ask confidently, that could change. But the likelihood of them asking confidently, it's not very likely.
I don't know. I guess I'm the only one who got that 15-year marriage out of asking, hey, can I kiss you?
Yeah. I asked too. Granted, it was the other way around, but still, I just straight up asked, hey, you want to get coffee?
I asked too, even though it was pretty awkward for me.
If I'm with a chick, the best way that I get them to calm down, surprise kiss. And they usually do.
Yeah, see, that's sexual assault.
That could end really badly.
Yeah, it could. It really could. It could.
No, I'm not kidding. You're lucky because somebody actually tried to do that to me and he ended up getting smacked. So.
Oh, not just random people. I'm not talking about that.
No,
it definitely wouldn't just be a random person. Yeah. It would be someone that I'm in a relationship with.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about a first date.
I was talking in a bar.
I was talking about a first date, like, hey, can I kiss you at the door? Not, we're in a relationship, an established relationship. Come on.
No, even when you're in an established relationship, you have to have those rules. Can I touch you? Can I do this? Can I do that? If you don't, and she says no,
that's it.
That's an automatic rape charge, according to your rules.
I mean, if
I
she
don't
says no,
believe-
then I'm just gonna leave her alone for the night and go whack off in the bathroom or something. I guess I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I don't
No.
believe it. Like you can't work it out through natural process like everyone normally does. It's like you get eye contact and you're pretty clear as to the fact that somebody's into you or whatever, and then you shouldn't have to say, "Is it okay?" at that point, right? Because if somebody's letting you get close enough, you got a pretty good indicator. I mean, it's about indications. I mean,
Well, the thing is,
what
I
you
don't
need
want
to
to
get.
assume. Why assume?
No, I mean, what are you going to be
why
doing?
not just
Walking
know?
around.
I
Well,
don't know.
fine.
That's
Bring
just
it. Take a lawyer to every fucking date you have. Jesus.
That's pretty much what you have to do nowadays. So what's the point of
Only
even
lawyers
dating?
can date people now.
No,
Well,
no,
nice.
so
no,
funny.
no.
Have
I
it
went
fucking
2 years
notarized
to
as
law
well.
school. That's hilarious.
$40 for a fucking notary, so I have to get that notarized in order to make sure that you're allowed to,
Well,
I
even
Okay,
between
know
I
that
what
took
the
her
being
out on a
question.
first date and I asked her, "Hey, can I kiss you?" At the end of the
Fucking
day,
hell.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
Jesus.
that. I didn't
no,
know
there
her.
is nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong
No.
with it. I'm just saying that it should have been pretty clear whether or not it was, it was welcome or not by then.
Well,
But
Most
it's
people have
always
an
okay
idea
to
whether
ask.
you're into
That's how
that
you get
Yes.
person.
slapped.
it really
That's old
isn't
school.
always
That's
clear
old
when-
school. My father taught
No,
me
it's
how to.
not.
Yes,
You
it
approach
is.
some. No, you approach somebody. Nobody needs to slap you unless you suddenly grab somebody and and assault them. But I mean, if you move towards somebody, they can move away, and then you know that it's not going on. It's not that.
I'd rather
fucking
know than
difficult.
assume. That's just me.
Ah,
Because assuming
Yeah,
makes an ass out of you and me.
Yeah, but even when you think you know, you're still assuming
Yeah.
because if they change their mind midway,
I don't know.
that's
I've never
right.
had a woman change their mind with me. That's for goddamn sure.
it
But-
happens. Unfortunately, it will happen.
Well,
I mean, this
well,
was
it does when it's
Pre 2000.
convenient.
This was 2005 and
Well, there you go.
and
That's
lower.
that's the whole pre before social justice took over and
No, I
screwed
think
up.
social justice always has been here. It's just now it's more prevalent.
No, the basis of social
yeah,
justice
it's
kind
the
of started.
internet.
It
I
was
seriously think it's the
starting
internet.
roughly around the 93.
No, social justice is basically
it-
just good behavior. That's all it is. It's just meant to be about good behavior, but people have politicized it and turned it into all kinds of sexual conflict. It usually just be called manners.
Well, one time, yes.
But,
Well, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, like you were just chastising me for asking for a kiss, but that's manners.
Yeah, but
That's
what
how
I'm saying.
I
The
was
manners,
raised.
yes, but the manners also come in, in the earlier part. But like I said, if you see somebody, you look in their eye or whatever, and then you just then, you go in for the kiss. You don't think, oh my god, I suddenly have to need a fucking verification, a note,
Is your life
a
a
notary
romance
public
movie?
and a friggin' lawyer.
I said, is your life a romance movie?
No, it's not. But I was just saying, no. I mean, I was saying, in my experiences, as a man who's lived 48 years in life, and different. I mean, I've had multiple partners along the way.
You're that fucking old? Jesus.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Melissa
I am.
asked
Get right out with it, guys.
There you
That's why
go.
I
Right out with
invited
it.
her as.
I survived this long, you see. You know why?
That's a
Did
miracle.
I have manners?
Are you married?
Hmm?
No.
Nope.
Fuck no.
Wow.
Who the fuck would marry that asshole?
I've had multiple long-term relationships, but I don't believe in marriage. In actual fact, the only reason that the relationships broke up were because it was actually the woman who wanted to get married, and I had no interest in it. I don't believe in the concept. I don't. I think it's horseshit. I'm not gonna. But I don't need. Two's companies, three's a crowd. Why do you need a lawyer?
I-
That bitch wants to be the
get
pussy
married.
magnet.
But I'm
Lawyer.
I'm soon to be exclusively interested in Americans, so I'd actually have to marry them if I wanted to continue seeing them.
I think while marrying Americans, so you could just live here.
Well, I mean, living there is kind of secondary to the actual person I'd want to be with.
Right.
You know?
That's my same view with Japan. So
But like, you gotta make sure, like, for a fact it's going to work. Because
I
then,
wish
like,
you the
along
best
the
of luck on
way,
that one. Knowing
well,
for
I
the
mean,
fact.
like,
There are no
My wife and I were
guarantees.
together for 9 years before we got married, and not
Yeah,
because of the legality.
No. What?
We
Well, you
wanted
can
to
always-
we wanted to finish school first.
Well, I was more than happy to, do a public ceremony, like to the family and things like that, declare our, do a declaration. But I just don't want to be, like with all the other shit that goes with it. You don't have to go.
Oh,
into
yeah, that's what
court
my
with
wife
it.
and I did. We did a marriage, like a hand fasting, because we're both
See,
pagan.
there you go. I can respect
And
that. You see, yeah,
it wasn't
perfect.
legal because we didn't have it, but we didn't care because
There you go.
we finished school and we made a,
See?
we made a promise to one another, hey, we're going to get married after we both finished school. So we did.
But that I respect. But that was a form of marriage right there. Because it was a commitment to one another to stick with it, right? And that's really what the whole point is meant to be. Then you add in the courts and everything else. You know what I mean? 2's companies, 3's a crowd, and then you get the government involved too, and then you get the church involved. I mean, it turns into a gangbang.
Well, I'm thankful that it's legal now. I mean, especially if, God forbid, something happened to me and I was in the hospital, she wouldn't be able to see me if we weren't married. I've had that happen before. It's awful when they tell you, hey, get out of the fucking room because you're not married, that you're not family. Because her parents hated me for a long time. So I couldn't imagine, like, when she had her hernia surgery, she had a hernia surgery, like, years ago. Me wanting to be in the room with her was near impossible.
I forget about how you Americans are so strange and backwards.
I didn't want to get married until I met someone.
Trust me, it
Until I
sucks,
met
dude.
someone
It sucks sometimes.
Like I didn't want to get married until I met someone who I actually wanted to marry.
And also, what's this? You can get married by a justice of the peace. You don't gotta get married in a church.
Correct.
No, but that's
Yeah,
all
I
right.
did.
But you
I
still
did
get the legality.
that
You
shit.
still have the little document that you sign, and that goes and gets registered back in wherever the fuck it ends up. Some
A
archive somewhere.
courthouse.
Usually it's done through a courthouse system. If it's going through,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
So it's a
court.
court. So it's
So
a
where's the
legal
fucking church?
justice thing. Yes, and no, what I'm saying is that you got different ones. Yeah, you can have
What's
just
the
the.
problem
But the
with
whole
that?
point is, it's still more than the 2 people, right? It's more than the 2 people who are
What-
actually wanting to declare
what's the
their
problem
their
then?
commitment.
What's the
Right?
problem
The third
now?
party.
You get
I'm
taxed.
confused. What
Third
is the
party.
problem?
The legal aspect of it.
Cheating.
So,
And
Yes. And
I
what?
just think
Well,
government.
that's
I
the
got
whole idea
married
of a civil
strictly
union.
for the legal
I
aspect.
don't understand why the
Legal
government
protection.
has to get involved in anyone's fucking personal business.
Because it
Taxes.
cleans up a potential legal fucking mess if somebody dies or gets hurt or there's kids involved or
No,
some
no, that
shit.
can be done by a will. That's easy.
No, not necessarily.
No, not if you're still alive.
And you have to.
Thorn, I love you.
Yeah, that's what wills are for.
No, if you're still alive, you faggot.
Wills are not for living people, you dipshit.
What do you mean? If they're living, then what? I don't understand what your issue is.
If you get divorced or something, the courts, there's
Yeah, if you get
legality.
divorced, then
No,
but
no.
then you go through a legal arbitration. But the whole
Yeah,
point
you're
is that
You're making the whole system kind of weird.
What in the shit?
no, excuse me. Look, if you live with somebody for like 30 years and you end up separating, well, why do you need to bring the law into it? You don't, right? If you've never been married. This is the thing I had with my
That's what
relationship.
marriage originally was. It was just a
We have
contract.
walked away from each other. Exactly, it's a contract, but that's what I'm saying.
A voluntary
And that's where
contract
all the
with
problems
the
come in, because you got 3 different groups in it, and people can use that to manipulate. I've got an upper hand on you or whatever. But all relationships I've ever been in, you can walk away from each other, and there is no remorse. You don't have all this other shit that goes along with
Well, Cabbage, not everyone is you.
it. Yes, I agree with that.
What?
Thank fucking God.
What do you guys feel?
Well, I don't know. Apparently, you like complication.
Well, if
No,
you're living with a person
that
for
makes
30
sense.
years,
Complicated
you've
at
already
all when you
complicated the
understand the
situation.
law and you understand why the law is there. It's not complicated, I promise. I can read it for you if you'd like.
Divorce court? Are you telling me divorce courts are not complicated?
It depends on the
Fuck
situation, but I
You
can
know what's
fucking,
even more
I could
complicated?
read you the legalese if you'd like, and I could explain it to you Barney
No,
style.
shut.
You don't
know
need
what's
to do
even
that to
more
me,
fucking
thank you, dear.
complicated? Do you know what's even more complicated? Binding arbitration with people who have been together for 20 years and not married.
Yeah, it is pretty fucked.
No,
Because when you're
there is
married,
no
it's
such
just
thing
agreed
as
to be
common law wives.
50-50.
Yeah,
There's
we don't
no
have
such
common
thing
law
as common
marriages
law.
here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We
There's
have
no
it
such
here.
thing.
Illinois,
You
but
can
it's
just
not
walk
same.
away.
You can't just walk away after being with someone for 30 years. I guarantee
Yes,
you
you
that.
can. Yes,
Okay,
can.
well,
So now who owns the fucking couch? Who owns TV? Who owns the fucking house?
That's the whole point. And the thing is, that's the thing that you work out between yourselves. I mean, why does
but
anyone
it
else
doesn't
have to
work
get
that way.
involved?
Oh, it doesn't work that way.
It never works that way.
It doesn't always work out that way.
No, but you can bring in an
Okay.
independent arbitrator. You certainly don't
Oh,
need
wait.
the government
So
to do
now
it
you
for you.
now you're bringing in somebody who is
So
now you
considered
brought in
alive.
law.
Let's just agree to disagree.
No, an independent arbitrator. I'm not saying the law. I'm saying an
Hey,
independent arbitrator.
Pop
Who
said
says,
usually what
stop.
an
It's her
arbitrator
stream.
is.
Shut up.
Okay, moving on. How do you feel about open and polyamorous relationships?
I'm in
Or-
one.
For it. I'm definitely for it.
Oh, sure.
If there are kids involved, just keep it away from them.
Wolfie's into anything which is deviant.
No,
Kids-
I'm not polyamorous. However, I have a lot of friends who are, and if that's what they want, then that's what they want. Me personally, I'm pretty possessive. I could never do it. I don't think.
I couldn't either. I don't like sharing.
Yeah, I'm not a
don't-
sharer.
I do
I'm
not.
not a sharer.
I think it's not for everybody. I
My-
think there's
my-
a lot of situations where people just don't. It's not going to work.
I'm not exactly in support of it, but it's their life. I don't care what they do with their life.
I could,
You know,
I could see it working for me with certain people, and I can also see myself being monogamous and getting married as well. I could see myself doing either. I don't see myself being open because I do not see the point in that, and that is pretty dangerous when it comes to like STIs and things like that as well.
Yeah, but Potato, this is kind of common in Europe. You know, the Europeans. You remember when the French president got caught, you know, having a mistress? And everyone in France said, huh, so what? Big deal.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I mean,
they
that-
didn't really think anything of it. It wasn't.
They both
anything
went to his
involved.
funeral.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, same thing in Italy and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's not like it's, you know, I mean, a lot of cultures just, I mean,
well, Ireland's pretty different. Like it used to be fairly
you're
religious.
Catholic.
You know, you get
Fucking
married, and you have
Catholics.
11 kids, and all of that. So, a little bit different here. I mean, it's changed recently. I have friends who are polyamorous and open and like everything else.
Have you ever seen these polyamorous people? It's like
I
you
find
know,
it hard enough to
Uh,
love
two
one
butch chicks
person.
and a weasel.
Oh yeah, I'm real butch.
My women.
No,
are
but
like-
usually, you know what I mean. The dude's a little weasel. You know what I mean? Because he's not.
No, what's that
really-
mean?
I don't. I
I
guess
have no idea what that means.
Usually tall and skinny and kind of.
Skinny
Yeah,
soy
exactly.
boys.
Yeah.
Talking about skinny soy boys.
Oh, like
Exactly.
cucks? Or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, total cucks.
Well,
You know,
actually-
that's,
Hey,
those are
Thorn,
the
how
people.
big is your husband? I think he's rather large, isn't he?
He's like I think last time he weighed, he's like 300 pounds. He's
Yeah,
a
and he's-
freaking linebacker.
He's a big
He's
boy.
muscular as he's like fucking
He's like your boy Pat.
yeah.
Exactly. But
So-
if you get, yeah, but you're polyamorous, so the other person's going to be the weasel.
There
I'm
could
not a
be a
weasel
chick though.
either.
There could be a chick though.
I'm not a butch.
Man, it could be a chick. Okay,
Yeah.
well, if it's a chick, it makes sense.
It's,
You know,
it's
at least
gonna
then he's
be a
getting his
chick
money's
because
worth.
like even though I'm bi, he's straight. So a guy might
I could
be
see that
an
working out
issue.
really well.
Anyway, yeah, I'll trade places with him.
He's like, hey, a crumpled mess of hair in my lap is a crumpled mess of hair in my lap, but I have limits.
I like him. He should stream more.
I've never actually had a girlfriend. I'm bi though.
I've had more girlfriends than boyfriends. I've had a total of 2 boyfriends, one of which I married, and 4 girlfriends. So for somebody who's poly, I don't date much. I'm picky.
I've never been with a man in any way, shape, or form.
No, you don't know what you're missing then, do you?
My wife
Uh,
tells me
average.
tells me, you know, what I'm missing, and she says it sucks. So I'm good.
Yeah, but that's anecdotal. That's
But there's
anecdotal
nothing
evidence.
missing in my life because I haven't had dick, I assure you.
Oh God, Andre just texted me. He said I'm a lesbian.
Tell Andre yes. Tell Andre yes.
Yeah.
So what I find is it's almost
Where the
impossible to
weasels are coming
find
from.
a woman
Women are
here.
creating the weasels. They'll
Like-
never date.
There
Rabbit, shut
are
up.
there aren't a whole lot of like places where you will meet other women who like other women here. Like, it isn't great for those kind of options. There aren't a whole lot of people in general, so that makes it harder. And then the ones who are that way are nearly always crazy SJWs. And also sometimes vegan, which just adds to the
craziness.
Oh yeah.
Come to America, honey. Come to America.
Well, come to America. Come on.
One of the reasons I'm not vegan is because I'm just like, I am not making 2 dinners. I'm just not.
Not that funny. Good God.
That's amazing. I am not making 2 dinners.
He's the one. I'll make like pasta or something, and he'll look. He's like, "Where's the meat?" Like,
There's
there
a
is no
mistake.
meat.
You made
It's spaghetti.
me get my food eats.
I actually like vegan food, but sometimes not the people that eat it.
I like some vegan food.
Soy people.
I actually can't eat soy. I'm allergic to it.
I don't know what counts as vegan. Is that like a fucking salad? Because I'll enjoy a salad.
No,
That
like,
can, that's
Yeah.
vegan.
Look,
You
if
got-
you're
you like
shooting,
miso soup.
if you're shooting deers,
Ooh, miso soup
then
is
you are
good.
definitely not a vegan.
Miso soup is vegan.
Miso, I like.
Unless you make it the way that the Japanese do, then you got a lot of meat in there.
Yep,
Yeah,
which is
then
not
it's fish
vegan.
stock, isn't it?
Yep, it's
Yeah,
fish stock.
it's called dashi, I think.
Yeah, it's served a lot in Japan.
Oh, never mind.
It's in a lot of dishes.
When I was in
It-
Japan, it was like everything was fish.
Yep.
Everything.
Which
And I'm
technically, for them, is not technically a meat.
Yeah, it's just. I think it's
I
just
like-
a part of like who they are. Like, I don't know.
Well, I
It's
mean,
like
like
rice.
for miso soup, they usually make ramen with it, and they put things like beef and pork. So
Dude, I had
But
the
I
best fucking ramen in Japan, dude. Like, I
Vegan
went
pad
to
thai is the shit.
Okay, we're not talking about food though.
Sorry,
we
potato.
are now.
Sorry, potato.
We've moved on from the
Derailing
whatever it is
again.
to food, which is a lot more easier.
But polyamory, I don't have a problem with it. If you want to do it, that's cool. I don't
It
think
is-
I could do it.
Yeah,
Honestly.
as a polyamorous person,
I-
it's not for everybody, and like if there's kids in the equation, it might not be a good idea at all.
Yeah.
Make sure you get your vitamin B and D. You're not gonna get that from a vegan diet.
We're not talking about food anymore, Kevin.
Why can't we have
It's
it?
like, where the fuck did that come from, Cabbage?
Well, sorry, just pointing out the
Vitamin
vegan
D.
Are you talking about vitamin dick?
bullshit. Nah, yeah.
No, it has more zinc than anything else. Anyways,
Oh, boy.
For me, I don't care as much. It does. My personal beliefs shouldn't affect what you do. Basically.
Pretty much. I agree with that right there.
I think
Even if you disagree with my belief.
I think the whole vegan thing is a political thing more than it is anything, to be honest with you. I have
These
never
days,
met
yeah.
I've never met a right winger that was a vegan. Like never. I think it's I'm serious when I say it's a political thing. I think it's a way for leftists to have yet another method to feel superior to people.
No, I've literally
Yeah.
met,
That's all I think it is.
I've
that's all I
literally
think.
met one.
It serves no purpose. It serves no purpose. I mean, and number one, it's not it's not healthy.
within
really
our
is.
species, it's not healthy whatsoever.
My
In-
father was vegan for like 5 years because of his cholesterol.
Yeah,
There
well,
are definitely some medical things that it can be beneficial for.
Yep.
that's only because you have an excess of it already.
If
So,
you
have-
If you have enough vegetables in your diet, though, it shouldn't be a problem.
I have two friends who are conservative, and one is because she has like severe food allergies and Lyme
Yeah.
disease. So she's
My
now
father
allergic
is-
to red meat.
My father is super duper fucking conservative Republican. Yay, happy face, good for him. And he went vegan for 5 years for his cholesterol, and he still doesn't eat red meat now. So he's more vegetarian now. That he remarried my mom.
but it's still
But-
like chicken
Pescatarian.
and bacon.
He doesn't eat bacon.
I
He will
met
eat chicken.
fruitarians recently. I didn't realize that there were people who were actually fruitarians.
Yeah,
What
they
the
are. They
fuck is
exist.
that?
They
What
are-
is that?
Banana lady.
They
They
only
only eat fruit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Only
they
eat
only-
fruit.
all they eat is fruit.
No, they've been around for a long time. That's not a new
Yes.
thing.
That's like
Alright.
since the 70s. That's not
Yo,
new.
Yeah, no, it's an old. Yeah, it goes back
Let's
a
go
long
back
way.
to polyamory now.
it was like slippery slope fallacy. Like,
Oh,
you
hey,
know,
we're back in food.
but yeah.
Back to
So
food.
that's your fault for bringing up politics and how that relates. What? Okay, so asking this question: how many of you guys would date someone with different political beliefs?
I have, so we can move on now.
I'm
Yeah.
married.
Me
I
I'm
would.
married to a
Uh,
liberal. She is super duper asshole liberal, and
Uh,
I
I
don't
mean-
I
care.
could do it.
She
I mean,
probably
I want
voted for Hillary or Bernie, and I don't give a shit. You want to know why? Because she can do what she wants. I'm not there to police her beliefs.
Yeah,
I don't.
like,
I'm
you
not
think
gonna. I'm not
you
gonna
had a
police
right to do
anyone.
it in the first place?
I think
No, I'm
it's
just
pretty. I think it's pretty
Mm.
important to me that they are at least similar enough in political beliefs that they're not too far away.
Man.
I want someone that
Depends
has a
on the
brain.
beliefs.
Let's just put it at that.
I'm
I
not
don't-
gonna find many ANCAPs off
Like,
the internet,
I mean-
so
Oh, bitch, you're an ANCAP?
bring it, boy.
You're an ANCAP for real?
Well, that's
Huh?
why I people on
Considering that I only date men, that means I would have to like if someone with different like opposite political views, it would be like a male feminist. No, I'm not dating a fucking. They're faggots. I'm not dating them. That's basically.
Yeah, the chances are they might shoot you or bludgeon you. to
Like I'm
death.
not. Like I'm not gonna date
That's
someone that's an
the
Antifa.
ratio.
Fuck that. No.
Steve Shives.
Look, I'm not.
Yeah.
Look, my wife isn't
Yeah.
Antifa. My wife isn't Antifa or anything, but she's pretty liberal, and yeah, I don't know. Like
Pretty.
we've had discussions, and I mean, I'm liberal on some things. I'm just more conservative on other things. She's not. I don't know. I think we get along pretty well.
Well, it's the yin and the
Like-
yang, isn't it?
Well, I didn't vote for Trump either, so it's okay.
You
I
don't,
didn't
you
vote.
don't seem
I
that
most
far.
certainly did vote for the
Right.
Golden Emperor.
I stayed home
So-
and cried.
Sword, I love you.
Did you scream at the sky? Did you do the?
No,
the
I
wee-
drank heavily.
I was about to say I drank heavily. I know that.
I'm
Yeah,
just like,
no
I'm sitting
reeing.
here, and when the result came out, we have a fucking reality TV star as
Yeah, but
president.
you know why
I
he got
get them
in?
now.
I laughed my ass off. I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was
I
pretty
did.
devastating, but it's cool.
I thought it was funny as fuck. It
Thorn,
was
I'm
like,
on your
oh,
side, baby. Thorn, if I was there, I'd hold your hand and we would have
Like-
drank together. It would have been great.
It was like two giant piles of shit running for office.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
It was the funniest
Oh, I
thing
watched
ever,
it.
and the result, and especially when you saw Hillary's people up in the stands, and she wouldn't even come down. And they just said that
I'm
was
not
so
gonna lie.
funny.
I felt
They
like
were
crying.
freaking
I'm not
out.
gonna lie.
It's
It was
hilarious.
it was all
It's
awful.
fucking
I thought
Oh,
hilarious.
it's funny.
I
My
put the
friend
picture-
Jim said he was gonna vote for Jill Stein. I said, "Don't be a faggot."
The best thing about Trump is and will always be the fact that he drives the people I can't stand fucking crazy.
Well,
That's the
That's
best
how
thing
I
about him.
He drives the normal people crazy too. I'm here to assure you.
There's
that's
one.
his job.
There's one pretty good thing I found out
Oh, wait, I'm not the normal.
today. In that GOP tax plan, alcohol's gonna be cheaper.
Yeah, they're lowering the taxes on
Great.
sit.
Woohoo!
Shit faced for cheaper in 4
Yay.
years.
So
Like maybe
sin ta-
10
or
cents.
is it all sin taxes or is it just alcohol?
Sin taxes are bullshit.
They
There's
are.
a lot of taxes that are gonna
Yeah,
go
and you
down.
know why?
The
Because
federal-
Kevin, shut up! I want to hear from him, not you.
It's
Whiny cow.
likely going to be the federal tax that goes down. It's only going to be somewhere like maybe 10 cents, but still cheaper.
Well, I mean, I.
But you
I
know
chew-
where they
I
got
chew
the money
tobacco,
from?
So it's important.
Is it per
But you know
hour?
where they got the money from for that? It was in a report. They got the money to be able to do that because of the the amount of states that are now legalizing cannabis. They're actually using those monies in different states in order to
And
make
then
it
Donald
happen.
Trump says he wants to keep pot illegal. I'm like, but why
Yeah.
though?
Yeah.
You're a fucking moron. Shut
Because-
up.
No,
Because
I'm
it's
saying
so
that's
true.
what's happened. I'm not saying what's going to happen in the future.
Okay,
I'm saying
okay.
that's what's happened. Hello, anybody
Yeah,
home? No fly.
Potato, you have the power to mute, you know.
Yeah, you do.
Doesn't
Okay,
everyone
well,
have the power?
Or you can just let me do it because I'm used to doing it.
Benny, go.
Gee, you see? Oh, and you the people who don't like censorship. You fucking self-righteous little
It's
pricks.
only censorship when it's the government, and last I checked, I'm not the fucking government.
Okay.
We haven't told Cabbage to shut the fuck up yet. Like I'm surprised.
Please.
Hey, Cabbage,
Happened
shut the fuck up!
Every fucking half hour it happens.
Who here has ever used a dating app?
Like the
or a
bloody
dating
town
site?
crier.
Can you shut up, Cabbage? It's Potato Stream.
No, I can't. Just to piss you off.
Who here?
Alright,
It's
enough of
Potato
that
Stream. Seriously, it's Potato Stream.
Ah, Benny.
In all seriousness, it is Potato Stream.
Yes.
Okay, so who here has ever dated, went on a dating app or a dating site?
I have.
For?
I went
have.
on Tinder for a little bit, but I kept on getting robots. So eventually, I was just like, "Fuck me, I'm not gonna do this anymore."
I've gotten laid a few times from Tinder, but never saw any of them as like dating worthy.
Never.
Oh man, I
thought
wish
it
I
was a
had
hookup
Tinder
app.
back in the day.
Okay, Cupid and those type of ones, Plenty of Fish. Those were even worse. Like they had the
Oh, they're terrible.
Yeah, but those are hookup apps.
Okay, Cupid is the worst.
Yeah.
We just had chat rooms when I was a kid, or not a kid, but like
So
when I
many
was like,
dicks.
I was
Like-
on Imvu as a kid. That's how I got things.
Never mark yourself as bi on OK Cupid. That's what you can take from this stream tonight.
Okay.
Shit.
I wouldn't bother with any of them anymore. Like I tried them and I'm just like no. Like cuz I'm pretty like unique or like rare, especially in Ireland, for like the same kind of pots that I have and like the same commonalities and things. So like I just meet people online from like Facebook or like Twitter. Discord.
honestly, I don't know how I would do it today. Like I couldn't get on those dating apps or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do.
I get a
why
lot
the
of
dating
pages
apps are even
what
a
the
thing.
fuck. And that's about all I got from OK Cupid. And I was like, alrighty, we're done here. Goodbye.
I don't mess around with dating like sites or apps, and because that is a really good way to meet a lot of fucking chasers. So I just stay the fuck.
Yeah, it's like STDs Anonymous.
I like it
No,
naturally as well. Like there's nothing worse than like being on a date with someone you're not compatible with and it being super fucking awkward and you having to like play nice and make small talk. Like it's just it's
Yeah.
so bad.
Because then you actually are face to face and you know you have chemistry. Because we were able to have a conversation for 3 hours the last time we actually met face to face.
Well, I'm no different like face to face than I am in person. Like
So
I
what happened to the
like,
classical day of going to a bar or a pub or whatnot and meeting somebody there?
Yeah, that's what I can do. Like I'm pretty good at that. Like I have
Bars are loud and full of drunks.
Fucking hell. Yeah, but the
Not
idea that you just
necessarily.
I met my wife in high school.
swiping somebody to the left.
What?
Well, swiping people on a screen or something is meant to be some, God, I mean, how little value have you got to yourself when you're doing, you got to resort to that. Is somebody
Can't
going
you
to
just
swipe
let
me
people
left
like
or right?
things, Cabbage? Jesus
You should
Christ.
see the creepy shit that my
Oh,
husband.
well, Wolf, you got to appreciate being fucking demeaned. Yeah, okay.
The number
right,
of
if
women
you
in
want that.
California. No, like the creepy shit that my husband got on OK Cupid. Oh my god, it was worse than mine.
I think it's just awful everywhere, period.
I mean,
no
you-
matter what you do.
Hey,
can
come
definitely
fuck my
find some-
wife and let me watch.
You can definitely find some funny profiles on Tinder, though. Things that are
yeah.
cringy and you just laugh at.
See, what I find is that there's two types of people on these sites, right? Guys specifically, right? You got the chads, the douchebags who just want to get sex, right? And then you got the nerds, like, and not just nerds, like, because I like
The
nerds,
sads.
but like the people with zero social skills who are really
like
awkward
Cabbage.
as fuck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Well,
fuck
well,
you.
Chad-
Yeah, and you fucking Wolf. Fuck off.
I could
You don't know how to
myself-
interact properly.
I can
child.
tell myself a nerd, but I can at least like keep a fucking conversation going.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, Wolf.
And with the women you
but
get.
like with me, I always had like a shit time trying to like go on these dating apps because like I mean with me, I may not be the best fucking looking guy out there, but at least I can keep a fucking conversation going. But like the thing with
personality.
But the thing with like me was I kept on getting robots, and I was just like, okay, obviously I may be a shit person, but I ain't got to deal with these fucking robots anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, fuck it, and
It's like
I've been
blind
single
date.
for since.
It's everything's like it's like a blind date every time. It's just it's shit
it's
all
a
bust,
really
isn't it?
shitty one.
It's like Russian roulette.
It's like a blind date, but the other person's behind a curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't see how it improves anything in terms of dating.
Kind of makes it worse.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Everybody I know that's in like a long-term either sexual marriage, whatever, like successful relationship, has met the person in person.
Yes.
I feel like face-to-face like contact with someone is much more easier than just behind a screen. But I mean, that's just me.
Well, my best two relationships were both online, but that's because Ireland is terrible. I hate it here, and I just love Americans. So
Yeah, my best relationship was online.
yeah, and it's hard for like ANCAPs or like libertarians. I wouldn't call myself an ANCAP, but for us to like find people who share those views. Because
like
we're kind of right wing, but then we're kind of not at the same time. We're like liberal right wingers.
I'm guessing you're a minarchist?
I'm a political orphan.
Oh.
Same.
Well,
Yeah, I honestly don't belong to anybody. I try not to.
So statistically, when it comes down to dating, especially dating apps, anybody who lives in a big city will have a lower chance of meeting somebody versus somebody who lives in a smaller city, such as like Colorado, El Paso, and something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the people in the bigger cities are actually going.
That's in El Paso County.
Well, I mean, if you're too small, you're left with like
someone 30 miles away from you.
You know.
I mean, I wouldn't call Colorado Springs small. I mean, it's like 700,000 people, maybe, but
Yeah. But when we talk about big, we're looking at like New York City, Los Angeles,
Chicago.
Miami, something like that. Those are really insane. You have a huge population, so all of them are looking for something specific.
Mm-hmm.
So your dating material becomes...
Somebody wants to shit on your chest.
Yeah.
No, that's what FetLife's for.
Yeah.
Amen.
I actually got less creepy people on FetLife than OkCupid.
I definitely have gotten more creepy people in FetLife.
I guess it's a crapshoot.
It is.
Isn't life just a crapshoot? Fuck it.
It is.
It is for me.
I was ignored by
It's a game of life.
So. I was ignored.
Second Life rejected you.
What was that?
What?
But I wouldn't know what the fuck to do if something happened between my wife and I. I'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna, I don't know.
You're gonna gather a lot of cats and then feed them quite happily.
We have 2 cats already, actually.
They got the starter kit.
We have our babies already.
So you already have the starter kit. So if one of you dies, you got to add to the collection.
And you need. And you
That
gotta
already
get
happened. It's amazing. We lost one. We bought 2 around the same time.
They're fucking multiplying.
Pretty
Well,
much.
yeah, that's what happens.
I'm assuming that nobody here is like no sex before marriage.
Huffle is.
Huffle is.
Yep,
Sorry,
you got
Huffle.
one.
Sorry, Huffle.
We're not laughing at you. We're laughing because
No.
that would have never
Because of
worked
the
for
type of
us.
people we are.
Yeah, that would have never worked for us.
I know. I'm the black sheep on this side of YouTube and all that stuff.
Actually, my best friend, he's
but the
saving
thing is,
himself
you're
for
being a good
marriage.
boy. You're being a good boy.
I'm a good boy.
Huffle's a
I'm a
good
good boy.
He's a good boy.
Yeah. Is
He's
this not
like,
religion?
he's like 32 and he's a virgin.
Statistically speaking, the moment that a virgin actually hooks up with a person, they generally stay for life. So when they marry, they're pretty much married for life. So there's an advantage of being a virgin before actual commitment.
Like a virgin.
My brain just went like I looked back to the dude that I lost my virginity to. My brain went like abort, 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 fucking abort.
I want to see some statistics to back that bullshit up.
Fuck
I
that
need
shit
a
out.
citation.
Oh, you want citations? Everybody likes citations.
Yeah, let's get the citation going. Get them flashcards out. Right, Thorn? Them flashcards.
Flashcards.
Somebody's playing Teal Deer.
Not even close.
Whatever you do, don't throw a big black cock on the screen.
That was the best shit ever, okay? I'm sorry.
Is Sargon Turner?
No, that's the reason I got permabanned from Twitter. And I'm like, bitch, I use a VPN. Fuck you.
Really? That was it? Just a black cock? That was all it did?
Because it was on a live stream.
It was on a live stream. Someone's live stream, and they didn't like it too much. So, I mean, I was in timeout anyways, I'm sure, or something. Because it wouldn't have been the first time I was reported, I'm sure.
Well, Chad's not a good boy.
No, I'm not a good boy. I am the furthest from a good boy.
It's already weekend.
I try to be a good boy. I try.
I corrupt.
Right. Benny, you haven't been a good boy since you left the womb. You're like.
Yeah, I fucked
Stewie.
up everything, I know. I'm the reason why people they leave the internet permanently.
Oh,
You
yeah.
You
It's true,
invented
though.
cancer.
By
He made
permanently,
someone
we mean
leave.
48 hours.
No, he really did make someone leave the internet. It was pretty
Oh.
funny.
Yeah, and it was unfair because it was a nice guy.
I wasn't what
No, it
happened
was hilarious.
It was
Yeah.
hilarious. I mute one person and he freaked the fuck out. That's it.
Poor little turtle.
Like he spurred the
Polo
fuck out.
Yeah, well.
That's all I did. I muted him once and he freaked out and he left the internet.
This was
Who was
pre-made.
you, Cabbage, and he freaked out?
Oh,
No.
Is that what you're
No.
Oh.
He was a good guy.
Cabbage didn't leave the internet. I mean, he's fucking right there.
He's right there.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, fuck
Hey,
you.
a bad penny.
Bitch. Yeah, right.
let's pretend to be friends.
We are
Pretend-
friends.
Yeah.
He's just a dickbag.
Yeah, and she's a shit host.
Well, I really only know 2 of you, and one of you I only met once.
I like you, Huffle. You're awesome.
Thank you.
See,
Next-
look at that.
next question
Please you.
is the-
Oh yeah, I want to blow you now. How about
Cabbage,
Oh, wait,
that?
no.
What are we going?
Oh, wait, no,
Fucking
3.
Cabbage, can you shut the
popularity
fuck up?
point.
Can you
lady.
shut
Yeah,
up?
but
Yeah.
shut your whore mouth.
Fuck
For
off.
fuck's sake.
Hot
Okay,
Potato
I'm
would like to
talking
speak.
now.
Yeah.
My stream. I'm a dictator. What are your thoughts on MGTOW? The MGTOW mentality.
Yo, be outside dog.
You'll be outside dog.
Quit pissing on the
You,
carpet.
you can find the answer on my channel where I say that MGTOW is the new feminism.
Great.
I am a McCloud. It depends on which way you want to go.
Totally nice.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I
Hashtag
get that,
not
like,
all.
you know,
I-
I get that, like, you know, some guys, they just don't do well with relationships and they just want to go out on their own. That's completely fine. But when you get to the point when you just start bashing women for no fucking reason, then it becomes more like feminism. You know, when you just bash.
Okay, so here's
Right.
the problem with the MGTOW community since I'm in it and so on and so forth.
Oh, you're in it. Oh.
Oh yeah, no one really
Show
knows
me on the
that.
doll where the woman touched you.
It's not like that, please.
You didn't
Thank
touch
you.
me on my pee-pee.
We don't worry about
That's
that.
my
Show me where the woman hurt you.
I'm
We
a
don't
MGTOW
worry
that's
about
been in a
that
relationship, so let's go around here. So I'm an old classic MGTOW. Before we got to where we are now, we were dating women, we were fucking women, we were doing a lot of things with women. So let's back the shit up and let's go forward. All right. So where we are
So now
now
you fuck your
is
hand, right?
no, I don't. I still go out. Still have women. So
Yeah, he does a pump and dump. All right, pump and dump.
no, that's
I'm
a whole
just
different.
fucking with him. Jesus.
Anywho, so we're going forward. We have a divide in the MGTOW community when it comes down to these newbies who have no idea what it used to be like. To
Okay,
the old classics who are going, you know what, this is fucking ridiculous. We're moving on. The
So what is
idea-
classical MGTOW versus neoclassical MGTOW?
Well, you already know what the neo style is, which is pretty much hit on all women. The classic used to be, learn from your mistakes. Classic men.
Yeah, because like I can respect men going their own way and wanting to do whatever the fuck they want to do. That's
Yeah.
fine. But
That's called
don't
bachelorhood.
don't sit there and bash on every fucking woman because one woman hurt you or however the
Or
fuck it
mom.
was. It's like or mom. It's just
Right,
like
right.
it's like neo-Nazi feminists. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
they're-
here's my beef with like MGTOW. They always seem like to be the masters of the fucking obvious, right? Like the worst offender, and then like they pretend that they've come up with some great revelation. And like the biggest offender of this is like fucking Sandman, right? Like, hi everyone,
Sandman.
Sandman here. And I noticed when I have a job, bitches want to suck my dick, but when I don't have a job, they don't want to suck my dick. That's gynocentrism. It's like, motherfucker, you're not telling anybody anything anybody doesn't already know.
No, Sandman is an
Motherfuckers, bitches don't want to be with a guy that's broke as fuck and has no fucking prospects. But that doesn't even just go with women.
It's almost like
Yeah.
people want to be in a stable relationship, and it's easier to be stable when you have money.
Sounds
You know,
logical.
and that's not even just women,
No,
right?
no, no.
I want to
Like how many guys want
That's
to
everybody.
date
But-
a fat bitch
That
that sits
sounds
around
misandrous to
all
me.
day eating ho-hos and being fucking worthless? No man wants that shit, right?
Actually, there are some that do.
I
mean,
wouldn't mind if
that's
my
what
wife
it's-
stayed at home and was the homemaker. I wouldn't mind that actually.
But I'm just,
Well,
but I'm saying
like
homemakers actually make the home. But I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, guys don't even want to be with a fat bitch that's fucking worthless, right? So
True.
what the hell? Why did they come up with this idea that these women should be with fucking worthless guys living in their mom's basements? Like, big fucking surprise, being in your mama's basement, bitches ain't banging on your door saying, "Hey, can I suck your dick?"
I mean,
Because I love you.
how dare
Yeah, but it's called equality.
not
Well,
to be
again,
Yeah.
the majority of your newer style MGTOWs are pretty much those kids who are living downstairs in their mama's basement. The ones who
Yeah.
are the typical cucks.
It seems like the
They're-
majority
they're the ones.
of MGTOW are the incels with extra steps, and they're just like, "Well, I didn't want to get my dick sucked anyway."
So if you go,
Tips
if you
fedora.
go to like the MGTOW Reddits and whatnot, you'll get a lot of these open people who just found the red pill who are automatically called angry, which is why you've got your classical, or at least the guy that's on YouTube called Angry MGTOW, because he's always angry. He stopped being angry. He's not as popular as he used to be. Then you got Barbarossa, who's also very questionable because he goes back and forth in the dating spectrum. So if he's got somebody, everything is good in rainbows. If he doesn't have anything, then everything's doom and gloom.
yeah,
which
but
is a
nothing's ever
problem.
good fault. It's always
No,
women.
it's always
Like, no
the
personal
woman's fault. It's always going to be. Basically, a good classic MGTOW will say that it takes two to tango, but you have to be careful what you're getting yourself into. Learn.
Ugh, shit, isn't that anybody?
That's what we are. We were classical rogues. We were the guys who were from city to city just to shoot the shit, have fun. We're no longer that anymore because now we've got these doom and gloom kids who are just stupid.
Well, Wolfshot, right? God, the Australian Godfather, right?
Mhm.
Never had any experiences. He doesn't, he's never
I don't know
fucked
who
anybody. He's
Godfather
never
is.
had a date.
No, that's
Parent,
true.
well,
Well,
right? He's
there's
had no experiences, but he's
Yeah.
adopting these things because other people are telling him that that's it. And he's
well,
a
again,
virgin.
that's because of the dogma. That's because of the dogma that most of these people preach, like Sandman,
Mm.
Barbarossa, and so on and so forth. They preach a dogma, which is dangerous. This is something that I've had with the
There's a
Honey Badger
dogma?
Brigade. Yes,
There's a fucking
dogma.
dog. What's the dogma?
The dogma
Oh,
is
go
that
watch
women are
Sandman's
evil.
video. Like,
Have you
No.
watched Sandman? You guys?
No.
talk about fucking
I can't
idols.
handle that. I can't handle that shit.
Okay, so when it comes down,
He actually
eye-opening.
he actually made a video about me because back on my old channel I made a parody video of MGTOW called WigTow where I made all the same stupid arguments that they made.
you mean like the Meninist?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Same kind of deal.
I got it. I would have laughed at it because of the fact that I find that some of these current MGTOW bullshit, is stupid. I think I've seen your thing, but I'm not 100% sure.
Sandman turned around and then said that I was completely right in everything that I was saying, and that my boyfriend probably wrote that video for me. It's like, what? Like, he threw in these like random insults for no reason, but then was actually agreeing with everything I said, even though it was satire. It's like, what? Like, are you serious?
Sandman doesn't get satire. He only cares
No.
about the bugs that are coming to him.
Sandman here.
Yeah, I think, I can't stand Sandman. Hey everyone, Sandman here. And today's video is brought to you by a donation by Bob. And here's what Bob has to say. Here's a
Fuck
list of
Bob.
shit or obvious shit, and I'm gonna pretend that it's some great big fucking revelation. Like I can't fucking.
It's really funny because like he talks about how toxic women call them losers for deciding to be that way or whatever, decide not to play the game that's stacked against them. But when I said that, you know, I was going my own way and I don't need a man, I have, like, you know, my dildo and my teddy bear here and shit. Like, he was saying, good for you, you're a loser, you're doing guys a favor. You know, he's using the exact same arguments that he complains that women use against these MGTOWs.
But that's what you see. This is the thing. When you say that you are a self-declared MGTOW, right, Canadian?
Yes.
I mean, when you say, right, like you say, men going their own way. That I mean, I am technically a MGTOW, but I don't consider myself that. I'm just a bachelor. I'm a bachelor.
You can call yourself whatever you want. You can call yourself green. I really don't care.
No, I'm saying that, you know, bachelorhood is just basically a guy living his own life and doing what he does. Why do we need you fucking terms?
You don't. See, that term was created by people like the Badgers and that, the MRAs. They claimed that term for us. Bachelorhood is basically because they were shocked and surprised how men were able to do their own thing without having to be an MRA. So
hey,
then,
Canadian, are you in French Canada?
No, I'm in the western part that hates the French completely.
He's civilized.
Okay.
We're civilized.
I can hear the French. I can hear the French though.
No, there's no French.
Are you a fan of MRAs? Because I know a lot of MGTOWs are against.
Not necessarily.
Huh.
What's wrong with wait? What's wrong with men's rights activists? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask the question, a basic one. What laws and rules have the men's right changed in the past 100 years? They've been around for 100 years. What have they changed?
No, no.
I have no idea. Honestly,
I can tell you. I can tell you straight up. Statistically, they've changed shit all. They've changed nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Men are still being abused. Men are still being circumcised. Men are still getting the shitty deal when it comes down to marriage. Men are still being thrown into the dogs of war. Nothing's changed. Men are still in the coal mine. Men are still doing the majority of the worst jobs possible. Nothing's changed.
Do you think that's society though? Like
that is. You know who controls society for the majority of it? Men. At the end of the day, men control other men to do what we want them to do.
Other men.
But the ladies get the air conditioning.
So basically what you're saying is they need to step back and let the egalitarians take over.
What I'm saying is that, no, the egalitarians will never be able to take over.
Yeah,
because women will never want to do the jobs.
No, there was, okay.
I've done a man's job since I was fucking 14. Shut up, Cabbage.
The question is, are you willing to go
Tell you, the majority won't. You're an exception, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but are you willing to go into the sewers to fix a pipe?
I was law enforcement.
No, I'm just asking.
I mean, I knew how to fucking fix a pipe.
I was a mechanic as well.
Okay, so
would you want to have
you would be considered the exception to the rule. That's a small percentage.
Would I sign up for the draft? Yes, I would. I absolutely would.
But also, that's not.
I would too.
Yeah, but again, you guys are the exception to the rules. You are the small minority that would.
I would want guys to do the guy shit.
And that's the majority.
And also, guys would want to do the guy shit. Most girls don't want to do. Exactly. But the thing is, you give them that choice.
Ask a guy, would he rather take out the trash or do the dishes? And ask a woman the question, and you'll find guys do the trash and women do the dishes every single time.
There you go.
I want to do the trash. Fuck the dishes. But I'll do the laundry.
You're pretty masculine for a woman, though.
But that's it. You're the exception. You're not the rule.
The guys have to be the one that kills the spider, also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't with
both.
No, you get a cup and take it outside.
Exactly.
Nobody kills the spider.
No.
Why
Fuck the
kill the
spider.
Spider kills the fly.
Everybody
Like
make
the
haste.
spider on
No, what you do
fire.
is you build a wall around the spider, and the spider's fine.
No,
Everybody else
spider
walks
gets-
around the wall.
If it's a
You
palmetto
just-
bug, then yes, he can burn the
You
house
give the
down.
spider rights, and it's great. The
Yeah.
spider can.
You
go
sign
down.
over ownership. You give the deeds of the house to the spider.
That is true.
No. Spider needs to go, but if it's palmetto bug, I'll burn the fucking house down to get rid of that motherfucker.
I love
So-
spiders.
But no,
They're flying
statistically,
roaches. They shouldn't exist. I hate them.
but
I
when it
have
comes
no
down
problem
to it,
with that.
the majority of women will do what is known as effeminate labor versus men will do a masculine labor, or what
But our
we
brains
deemed
are
of what it is.
wired differently, so that's
Yeah,
like,
and that's
why.
fine.
It's fine.
Yes, and nobody
not
should have to
egalitarian.
resent it. But all
That's
these
definitely
different
not
weird groups
egalitarian
of-
because there's no
No,
such
no,
thing as
egalitarianism basically just says that everybody has like the choice to actually do what they fucking want to do if they want to do it, and if they're able to do it.
If they're able to do
If they're
it.
able to, oh fucking well. Men and women are equal, but we're not the same.
Like
Mhm.
military standards, right? Let's go with that. There
you go.
shouldn't
If
be
you go
gender.
for
There
a military standard, that's a whole different world.
Yeah,
but I'm
but
saying,
however, there
That's what I
shouldn't,
mean.
there shouldn't be gendered standards for the military. If you're a woman and you try out for the Marines, let's say, and you can't cut it, well, you can't fucking cut it then.
Yeah.
Period.
Agreed. Agreed.
Well,
Meritocracy.
Yes.
But when it comes down to the egalitarian, it's a principal belief that of equality, deserving equal rights as well as opportunities. There's nothing about you being able to do the same job.
Well, I think,
Yes,
I
is
mean,
he-
I think that
I'm-
women
It's-
should have the opportunity, but if they can't cut it, then they can't fucking cut it.
no, but there's
Right.
a thing called
But
egalitarian. They have to add something, which is meritocracy. Egalitarian meritocracy. You have an equal chance to try at something, but then you are based on your merit. If you're not
Yeah, that's
capable
the other
of
thing
doing
you're
it, then
describing
that's
is
the
fucking
point.
Feminism,
You can't
so-
just have egalitarianism. You've got to have the meritocratic aspect included in it.
Well, like
I'm
in law
not
enforcement,
saying That's like a fucking given.
I mean, in
Well,
law
it's not
enforcement,
necessarily,
there
but
was
most
no
people don't
gender
consider
standard
that.
when I went through the academy. Period. You either made it or you fucking didn't, and that's the way it should be. Period.
Yeah. But you've got an
Champion
equal
one
chance to
because-
prove yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and if you don't prove yourself, then you don't go to a fucking quota system,
Pretty much.
which is
Bingo.
what we're
Correct.
doing
Quota
now,
systems
right?
are not merit.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
got a
they're
quota
not.
system where we have
Yeah,
to.
I think it's awful. I think it's all. It's awful. Period.
Quota
this is
systems are at their face. They're not based on merit. They're not egalitarian because
no,
it
but the
basically
quota
means that
system
somebody.
is a form of egalitarianism because of the factor that you're making people equal.
Exactly, and that's the problem, which is why you need the meritocratic part of it in order
Yeah,
to prevent
you need
that
the
kind of
meritocracy in order
stupidity
for
from
it to
happening.
hold. Unfortunately, you've
Yeah.
got to weed out the ones who can do it and the ones who cannot. Anybody can say, "Yeah, I can do that." I've hired many people who said, "Yeah, I can do this job," and I find out later that they're shit at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. It's on their paper that says, "Hey, they can do this," but that's a piece of paper. Once you actually in that job, it's do or die. Situations can come, a little ragged, especially if you've got somebody's safety in your hands.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was important in law enforcement that you had people that could do the job and you knew they could do it. And they weren't just there because of, oh, you're a woman, oh, you're black, oh, you're Mexican, oh, you're this, that, and the other thing. We need to fill a quota. They were there because they made it on their own.
Yeah, well, now we can't do that anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah, but then the thing is, don't forget that what they're doing now is they're dropping standards. They're actually dropping the standards for the military and things like that. So then they can get more women in. So so now you got women who are going to be fighting on the same field as the men, but they actually don't have the same abilities because
Do you
just
do you
changed
guys remember Equifax?
the pass rate. Ugh.
The hack?
Equifax. You remember Equifax?
Oh,
do you know the
Equifax,
person?
yeah. You mean
Equifax.
the credit company? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know why they were hacked?
Because someone was incompetent and they got in there because of a quota system.
They're very good.
Yeah,
Thank
somebody
you.
found
I know
that
it's gender-
FTP
That's where you were going with that, yeah?
Yeah, I was going with that. Yeah. She basically all she knew what to do was what was it
STP.
nannying or something. She had no qualifications whatsoever, but because it was a gender quota that was required, she ended up getting the job. So
What's
every
funny is
American
there
that's
are female programmers.
they're great
Well,
female programmers. I'm not
yeah.
saying there isn't, but she wasn't
Somebody-
hired for programming.
That's kind of the
If only
Equifax's
people
fault.
like women. This is awful.
That's kind
Yeah,
of
but look at
still
what
their
happened with
fucking fault.
HP.
No.
You remember what happened with HP? That didn't go too well either, did it?
No, it didn't. So we went from MGTOW to equality for the sexes, egalitarianism, and all that kind of stuff to where we're going now.
Well, Google. I mean, again, the Google.
Yeah, you can
Why we can't trust
Google.
companies to find the one actual good woman to fill that quota?
We
Fucking
can't
A.
find anybody to fill any quota. We'll put
Yeah,
it
but that's
that
the
way.
whole point. There shouldn't be a quota in the first place. You're
No.
meant to employ the person that's the most capable. It should
That
have
That
too.
used to be an
do.
egalitarian way of doing things. You find the person with the best
No, like,
merit.
putting
and
that
quota.
aside
That's
for a moment.
that's the meritocratic way of doing things.
Yeah.
You give everybody an equal chance to send in their CV, and if they're capable, you give them an interview, and if they're good,
I'm always of the
then they
opinion
get the
that
job. That's it.
nobody should put their name or anything on the fucking resume.
It doesn't
Well,
matter.
actually, that didn't work out too
No,
well
it
for
didn't,
women
because
when
it
that
actually
when that got
turned out-
Oh
done.
well then.
Because it turned out that if you didn't do that, more men were being hired than women.
That's right, because they had better skills.
You also want to background check the person you want to hire and make sure they're not a criminal or fucking pedophile.
Well, you can't background check them
Well,
if
I
you
mean,
don't
that's
put the
the
name
second-
on the fucking CV, can you?
Potato, that would be the second round. That would be second round interviews when you actually bring them in.
Check their Facebook, make sure they haven't gone down to New Orleans and got stoned for a weekend.
Yeah. I wish anybody best of luck, because that's pretty much what they do down there anyways.
Yep.
There's a reason they're the murder capital of the world.
Mm.
Or the United States, anyway. Not the
I
world.
still-
Holy shit, no.
I still want to go down to New Orleans because of the whole busking scene they have.
No, thank you. I'd rather not be robbed.
Okay, so back to the actual topic, because I feel like nobody actually wants to talk about what we're supposed to be talking about. What are your red flags? Like, what are the things that you would refuse someone on? So we have veganism is one of them, probably for me. Just no.
Oh, you mean dating wise?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
I won't date a black guy.
Why?
What?
What? I don't find black men attractive.
Oh,
Okay.
that's okay.
That's a fine reason. Any other reason would be like, whoa.
No, I just don't find them attractive.
Yeah, I don't find men attractive, so I don't date them.
So
Yeah,
I
I
guess
definitely
we'll
know I'm
wouldn't
not-
date a black guy either.
No, I
I'm
would
not-
not date. I wouldn't date a black guy, nor would I date a black woman either. I don't find them
I'm not
attractive.
paying. I'm not.
Am
Well,
I
I
the
don't
only one that would?
mind. I don't mind black women.
I would.
I mean-
No, dude.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. There are I don't know. There are some black women that are very attractive to me. So I
yeah,
you know,
it's rare, but it is
Look,
possible.
it
Look, all I'm
depends.
saying
It all
is-
depends. Put a picture of a woman in front of me. I'll be like, yeah, smash or pass.
Huh? I dated a beautiful girl from Malaysia. So
Look,
I know.
look. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't mind a little bit of chocolate in my milk.
Oh my god. I love black women, but
I give everyone equal opportunities.
most of the black women here that would actually be interested in dating me are also either like in BLM or in general bug fuck crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't that
also
mostly
finished.
black
But, like,
Americans in general?
The sassy black
No.
woman
Oh
Like,
god.
I'm married to a black guy.
for everything.
Oh god.
I'm sorry
Not the
if you
sweeping generalizations. Jesus.
if you watch
me-
anything from Tommy Sotomayor, you can see that a mass population of the black community there are pretty much buck fuck crazy. So
Not all.
You're not wrong.
What I see about those groups of women, those black women, and how they treat the men they date, like they just slap them around all the time, and like verbally abuse them and shit, and it's like why?
well,
you
it's because statistically for them, most of the black males have only been dealing with one single household parent, which is the mother, so they're used to it.
This is going to turn into a clusterfuck really
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, this is getting get awkward. Can we move on?
Yeah,
oh, you don't
other
want to go
red
to the black
flags you have.
statistics? Okay, we
Well-
can move on. No.
Well,
Red
No,
flag.
that's not it.
Yeah, no. You
Well,
don't
It's not
talk.
the reason.
Yeah.
well, a red flag
that
for me
is
would
monetization.
definitely be if the person belongs to a political movement. That's a red flag for me.
Any political movement.
Yeah, if their life is like all about that political movement.
Yeah.
Like, if you walk in and there's a fucking Democratic or Republican campaign poster on their wall, run.
Yeah.
Just go.
I totally could. Like, I could date a politician, you know, if they were cool.
No, like a groupie.
I don't know. I don't know. A red flag for I don't know. I have to. God, do I have any? Wife.
My wife, get in here.
The abortion issue is a hot one for me because if I'm pregnant and it's gonna kill me, and I can't make that decision, you better make the right fucking choice. I will haunt you from the grave. I don't even believe in ghosts. I will find a way.
What did you say, Thorne? I'm sorry, I missed that.
The abortion issue. I asked my husband that too. I'm just like, if I'm pregnant and this is gonna kill me, and they say you can either have an abortion or let me die, what's the choice you make? And he's like, "You have the abortion." I'm just like, "Good boy, let's go. We're gonna go get coffee."
I could actually date someone who was against abortion. I think I could do that.
Well, it's more of in the case of life or death.
The question would be more or less: are we talking about a child that could be born already, who's pretty much
oh my god, I'm
valuable,
the only one on this fucking shit.
What were we talking about? Somebody who's got like a kid who's like what, 16 weeks? Is barely 16 weeks, which is pretty much a fetus.
No,
Full-fledged kid who's ready to pop out of the belly, or a fetus. What were we talking about here?
I love my wife more than a baby. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say that because I'm gonna be seen as awful anyways. I'm very pro-choice.
Yeah, I don't give a shit if I'm seen as awful. I'm in favor of the person that's already here.
I'm very, very pro-choice, but the thing is, I'm over the stage where I sleep around. I'm just not interested anymore.
Yeah.
So I want a long.
I would never have an abortion myself unless there was something serious.
Whatever. I'm not looking to accidentally get pregnant. That's just not going to be a thing. So I probably won't. I'm over the stage where I would get abortions. You know what I mean?
Well, so like I have a health condition where it might actually kill me. So, kind of an important question.
Okay, that is fair enough. I have no problem with that. It's, you know, these red flags are what you think is your red flag for you, which can be anything. I can't say that that's a problem.
Well, I was going to ask Wolf, have you or your, Mrs. Wolf, ever considered the idea of children from whatever method?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. We want kids. Yeah. I mean.
They gotta adopt a little Asian boy.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
It's got to be a South African, surely.
No.
Maybe Mexican.
No.
I would totally want a little Asian kid. Asians are adorable.
They are very cute, but I mean,
I want a little mixed baby.
That's up to my wife. That's up to my wife. She's going to tell me when she wants to.
North Korea. Baby complete with worms.
Yeah, she's going to tell me when she's ready, and that's about it. I mean, I can't force her to have my baby or a baby, period. So
okay, but you are concerned, considering the concept. I mean, that's all I would
of course.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Cool. All right. Fair enough. Good.
So fat people, how fat would you go?
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh man.
Hold on.
Get a drink. Bye.
Hold on. Don't get me wrong. I like my women with a little bit of fat on them. Not fucking too much. Just a little bit.
You and Chubby Chase.
I'm a skinny bitch.
I mean to an extent, yeah. But I mean, come on. I ain't no Brad Pitt.
I don't know. My wife's got a big ass, big hips, double D's. To me, she's perfect. She's fucking perfect for me. So I don't mind the curvaceous.
I've
most
seen
men like somebody who's curvaceous.
I've seen Will Shot's wife, and that's how I imagine the perfect
I like
size,
the.
you know what I mean?
I like skinny girls.
I like the petite chicks myself.
Yeah, but you can still have petite with curves. It's
I
just
like
down
that's
to the
true.
bone density, I guess.
Did you ever hear the expression more cushion for the pushing?
I
Yeah.
like women who are similar to me, like fairly short and like not too petite or too fat.
Yeah, I think I do like women closer to my own size. But
But
I can't answer this question because I'm not fat.
guys not too skinny is usually one. I have made exceptions before and gone pretty skinny. And I kind of like bigger guys if they're like taller and like slightly muscular. I actually don't like guys who are overly muscular. But yeah, definitely
You
not
feel
fat.
threatened.
Seth
Well,
Rogen.
there goes
After
my
that,
chances.
it's like no. Yeah.
He's got no muscle mass whatsoever. You blubber.
Yes,
I don't know.
but at least
I'm taller.
At least
I'm,
I can keep someone warm during the winter.
I'm taller than my wife and
I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm like
you.
fucking Tempur-Pedic over here.
muscular, more muscular than my wife. I mean, I weigh a little bit more than her, but I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
good.
I really don't care. Like, if she was up to 300 pounds, I probably wouldn't care.
I don't care either.
Like, if I'm in love with her, it doesn't matter. If she wanted to change her sex or whatever, if she wanted to become a man, I wouldn't care. Honestly, I'd be like, okay, you're my husband now. Whatever, that's fine.
I think you can
It
make a
doesn't
lot
bother
of
me.
exceptions for people if you really care about them. Like a
Right.
lot. Or a really bad thing in my case. When you end up dating people
Generally-
with like addictions, serious addictions and shit, you're like, fuck.
Look, I may be a fat fuck. I will admit I'm a fat fuck, but at least I do something with it. Like I'm losing weight, you know? Like I've lost a total of like almost 70 pounds.
Oh wow!
Fuck's sake. Come on.
I try to, but
Congratulations.
I'm kind of lazy.
Hang on, is that because they got like, is there like some kind of fracking ordinance in your region and they've managed to tap your stomach?
Well, see, like I don't date women. I'll fuck women, but I don't date them.
That's hot.
I just don't. And it's nothing against women, really. I just think men are better lovers. I do.
I'm just waiting for the right woman.
It goes person by
But
person.
but like my tastes in like their physical, like their body size and stuff like that are actually completely opposite for men and women. Like for women, I like them short, like under 5'2" or shorter, and
Damn it, I'm 5'3". Damn it.
and skinny.
You got a
With
dominance
guys,
thing going on.
well, I mean, a lot of this has to do with my own height, right? Like I'm 5'4". Okay. With guys, on the other hand, like you got to be 5'10" to ride this, and you got to be at least 250 pounds.
Damn.
See, I thought that myself.
I like my men large and in charge. I love it.
Napoleon was 5'10". He was tiny.
So what you're
Short
saying
bloke.
is there's a chance.
Well, I mean,
so what you're saying is, Melissa, there's a chance.
I want to be with a guy where I could put on a 6-inch stiletto because I wear 6-inch stilettos, and he's just as tall as I am, if not taller, right?
Mhm.
I put a lot of thought into this. It's actually kind of ridiculous. Like, and I met guys that were like 5'7". I'm like, nope, can't fuck with you. I'm not gonna live my life in the flats.
So you want submissive women but dominant men? That's
Not
what
necessarily
you're saying.
submissive women, just small.
Well, you're saying smaller
Well,
women.
again,
exactly,
when you do
yeah.
smaller,
I'm-
more
I
getting
don't
some
mind if my
success.
women are.
I was about to say, I'm 5'4" and I am not submissive at all.
Yeah.
Ditto.
I mean, like, no, like, let's say I meet a woman who's like 5'5". I might consider it's not like a hard line, right? But like with women, the hard line is definitely size. Like, you know, I'm not dating a fat woman. Like, deal with it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not fucking with a fat woman. I'm sorry, right?
I don't do
Call me an asshole if you
Hey,
want.
Melissa, give me a call.
Not fucking
What are
around.
we talking about?
Right?
We're talking about
fat
like,
chicks.
I'm not
like
fucking with no
Is
fat
it like, would you?
like, let me put it this way. I wear a size 5, right? Like jeans. I ain't fucking with a bitch that's wearing a fucking size 10. Like, don't fuck with me. Get away from me, right? I just
You
don't.
guys have different
If you
sizes.
have to wear a circus tent as a blouse, you are too big.
Yeah.
Yeah, no moo-moos.
If,
No
if, your
moo-moos.
high
I was about to
school
say,
photo,
no moo-moos.
if your high school photo involved a helicopter, I'm not fucking with you.
Wind socks are not acceptable.
Right? Like,
No, I don't. For me, it's like well, not only are they unattractive, I don't want to date someone who's gonna die before they're 50.
well,
Yes.
Oh, that too.
I guess for me, it would be that.
Another thing I've learned with big women, and this is not true with big men in my
Health
experience,
issues.
right? Big women don't have their shit together, like at all, right? They don't. They flat out don't. And usually, and if they're educated, if by some miracle they're fucking educated, they usually have some fucking worthless degree, right? And they end up working like worthless jobs.
Excuse me, I have a degree in women's studies.
Yeah, it's not, well, it's not like
So
the
you're
last girl-
saying that doesn't bear true with fat men?
That was
So, you have a
fucking
degree in
brilliant
women's
voice.
studies, so basically you have toilet paper.
You did that voice. That was brilliant.
But with I
Thank
just
you.
don't. I don't. I don't run into these problems with. Like maybe it's just the kind of people I run into. I don't know, but I like with big men. I just don't run into these problems generally. And I think it has to do
Excuse me,
with.
I have a degree in feminist dance therapy.
Oh God!
Like the kind of guys that I like.
Value me. Value
The kind of guys I like date with like the body type that I like are overwhelmingly like blue collar guys. Like they're construction workers, right? Like it's just the kind of guys I like, right? Every once in a while I'll get like
It's fairly stereotypical, though, isn't it? It's not exactly like that's a surprise. That's kind of stereotypical for what women find attractive.
I just I don't know if it's stereotypical, but no, I like men that can toss me around like a fucking rag doll.
There you go, exactly.
Sometimes your knight in shining armor is a redneck in a fucked up pickup truck.
I am, I'm
And that's
5'4",
And that's me.
With a deer on the hood
30 pounds
for dinner.
Throw me around, right? Like if you can do that shit, we're good.
I would
Exactly.
prefer that, but honestly, like for me, if they're intelligent, that's a lot more important. A bonus if they can use
Long
guns.
term, not short term.
But 'cause that's my,
bench press me.
but even if you're not physically intimidating, like if you're smart and you can like use guns, totally fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds good, but that's usually a long-term thing where you build up a relationship. The physical thing is usually the wham-bam and, hey, presto, that kind of stuff.
But even for physical,
It's a very different relationship.
I give really good multiple orgasms. That's my talent.
good to know.
That's all I can really do. Like, I don't know. I look like a
Well,
dumpster fire.
oh,
If you lit a dumpster on fire, that would be me.
Oh, Wolfie, you always put yourself down. Stop it.
But yeah, with
True,
women,
though.
I mean, I guess if you're about my size, I'm okay with it. But like, if you're way tall or you're like by way tall, I mean like 5'7", 5'8", 5'9". Like I can't be fucking with you.
How would you define as way too tall?
Like I just said, 5'7", 5'8", 5'9" for a woman.
One of my friends from high school is 6'7".
Yeah,
A woman?
that's like
Holy
Damn.
shit. That's like
My-
Game of Thrones
Holy
bullshit
shit,
there.
that's a huge bitch.
Yes.
No.
My younger sister outgrew me when she was 11. So
I mean, the tallest chick I knew in high school, she
Yeah.
was like 6'5".
Oh yeah, she was
What are they doing? Feeding a fucking miracle grow or something?
No, her parents are gigantic too. She's the shortest one.
Wow.
They're very Norwegian.
Okay, you don't live in the Appalachians, do you?
No,
Hey,
I live in
fuck
Chicago.
Fuck you.
No, but she's like, I have a problem.
I live in the Appalachians, you motherfucker.
Like, guys don't want to date me because I'm too tall, and the ones that do want to date me because I'm super fucking tall.
Hey, I wasn't knocking you for the Appalachians, Will, but I mean, they got a lot of big people over there. The Scots came over. Big Scottish contingent, isn't there, in the Appalachians?
Yes.
Yeah, see? I wasn't knocking you. Don't be so sensitive.
I mean,
No, it's the Midwest. So very, very Norwegian family.
Yeah.
Vikings.
A lot of Svens.
Do you have an upper limit for guys' height as well? Like if they were like 6'9", would that be too tall? Oh,
I'm not sure it was aimed at you, Wolfshot.
I don't think I don't know if there's too tall for a guy. I know if he has too big of a dick, I ain't fucking with him.
Same. Same.
Yep. I will cross my legs and be like, no, thank you, sir. That's gonna split me in
And trust
half.
me, it happened. Like I've seen dudes like we'll get to going and I've straight told a dude, I'm like, that's an impressive cock. I'll suck it, but that's all you're getting.
I'm just like challenge accepted.
He just like opens his pants and it's his forearm again.
Like
for me,
Yeah.
like that would not work out long term, but like for sex it'd be fun.
She's like, I'd give it a go. She'd give it the old college try.
You'd be fucking sore.
Accepted right there.
You'd just be perpetually numb in the long term.
I have, yeah. There's definitely such a thing as a way too big of a fucking dick. Like, fuck that. I made the mistake of trying. Like, I met this one dude, and he was like fucking 9.5 inches long, some shit like that, right? Like, my forearm was the size of his fucking dick, right? And I tried that shit. I got skewered alive. And, like afterward, I walked away from that shit. I said, I ain't never doing that shit again. Fuck that.
You didn't walk away from that. You hobbled away.
You hobbled. Yeah, I was about to say you probably hobbled away from that.
You were in a wheelchair.
Get wrecked.
I felt like that hooker from Bad Santa. Like I wasn't shitting straight for a week. That was fucking.
A lot of anal bleeding, was there?
Yeah, that was not fun.
Digging in his rolling pin.
Lesson fucking learned. I'm never doing that shit again.
I don't know. I like big titties. I love big titties. That's one thing that.
Now,
for
see,
me,
I'm not partial on tits at all. Like I like them small, I like them big.
I don't like
the mouthfuls of waste.
Like me, for me, the big thing on boobs is if like your areola is the size of a fucking pancake. Like get away from it.
That's ugly. That is
oh god, dish pan nipples. I can't handle that shit either.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
It's nasty.
I have
like that's just fucking crazy to look at. Like I ain't doing.
But so that they don't like get in the way of stuff. Because there's a lot of people involved in these things for me. So when shit's getting in the way, it's a problem.
But these, you know, the nipples that are like the size of dishes, they never get erect, do they? You know, they can't get them pert.
Nope.
I hate small boobs that like they've got to be like a hand. They got to be a good handful. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh well, fuck you.
Yeah.
What?
More
I find you extremely attractive, Thorn. Shut up.
My boobs are 32 AA. Shut up.
So?
More than a handful is a waste.
Don't feel bad. It's the Thorn. I'm in the itty bitty kitty committee too. So
that's okay. You're intelligent and you're beautiful. So what? Who cares?
Is it fried eggs or what?
No.
What are you talking, little?
No, actually, what I have is very nice. Like I don't have a lot, but what I do have is pretty fucking great.
See,
The thing is, it'll never end up knocking around your fucking knees, as opposed to these other people with the big tits. And next thing you know, they look like they're coming out of the National Geographic.
I don't know. My wife doesn't have that
photo
fucking
shoot.
problem. I don't know. Maybe she wears the right bra. I don't know. But she got broken tits.
She probably wears a bra that actually fits her.
Oh, that's something else. Most women wear the wrong size bra.
They do. They do.
Like I have to fix bitches all the time. Like when I was single, I take off a bitch's bra and I'm like, you know, this thing is fucking a size or 2 sizes too big for you, dumbass, right? Or I take it off and then I'd be like, you know, you're supposed to be wearing like a 34, not a 30. Oh, what's that mean? Dumb bitch. You don't even know how to dress yourself. Get away from me.
Victoria's Secret is God, okay? Like, oh my god. Shit.
Like
I love Victoria.
I have minimal expectations. Like, know how to dress your damn self.
Make sure, okay, this is one thing I can't stand. When a woman can't match her bra and panties.
Hang on a second. Why women wearing bras? Bras were a
No.
male
If they
oppression.
can't match their bra and panties, it drives me fucking crazy. If you're wearing like a fucking hot pink bra and like brown panties, I will freak the fuck out.
Why though?
I don't care.
Because it
For
looks
me, it's
fucking
coming
weird.
off anyway.
It looks weird.
If I get them in their panties, it's coming off anyway. So
Right. They're
I know,
coming off.
but it's like what Melissa said. Learn how to dress your fucking self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I expect guys to not know how to dress
wearing
themselves.
mismatched socks.
No.
Like,
And that kind of adds to the charm of a guy. But when a girl doesn't know how to dress herself, it's
No.
oh, and when they fucking like when they put those drag queen fucking eyebrows on, that shit drives me crazy too. God, I can get it.
Oh, when they have makeup on, it looks like they put it on with a fucking like a trowel.
Well, like
they put it on with a shovel.
There's this fad that women like nowadays when they do with their makeup, they put their thick eyebrows on, right? And it comes from drag queen culture, and it works for drag queens because they have the square faces. For trannies too, for the same fucking reason. But on a natal woman's fucking face, it doesn't belong on there. Take that shit off.
And then they put more mascara on
Nice
top of them.
thin eyebrows and make yourself look presentable.
You know, that's one thing I will say that's really girly about me. I have to fucking wax. Period.
Oh. I
Like-
have one. I won't date a girl who doesn't have real eyebrows.
If it's like drawn
Wait,
on that,
what?
get the fuck out
There
of my
are
face.
girls with fake eyebrows?
They shave them off and then drop them back on.
They just draw them on all the time. I can't
Well,
do it.
I used to have a fucking teacher. That
I
had
shave
drawn
my
on
eyebrows and
I
draw
used to
on,
make
but that's
fun
more
of.
related to goth culture than it is anything, really.
Yeah.
Well, Melissa, I can't tell with you. You actually know how to draw them on, I guess.
No,
Are those
everyone-
the like,
everyone
women who
can
draw them on
draw
their
them.
forehead?
Yeah, like
You mean the
mine.
surprise look?
Yeah, the constantly surprised look.
I had a music teacher that did that. She shaved off her eyebrows, and she always had the constant surprise look. And when she vocaled for the O, so that we can, do the whatever it was, I'm like, the eyebrows just didn't move for the most part in the right spot. They just kind of went from where she was in the middle of her forehead to almost on the top of her forehead. I'm like,
Oh my god, I couldn't do it. I couldn't take that shit
I'd be
seriously.
laughing. I'd be sent to the
most of
to the
us
office.
were. We were like,
So for me, she's got to shave. She's got to clean up. I do, because I'm from like Portuguese, Native American, French, so I'm hairy as fuck. I got to keep that shit in check. My girlfriend or my wife has to do the same fucking shit. I'm sorry.
Oh, that too. I ain't no pussy where it's not fucking shaved. Fuck off.
No, I don't like it all the way shaved though. I don't like it all the way shaved though. If that freaks me out. If it's you gotta
I
keep it
know-
manicured.
yes,
You gotta keep it manicured. You know what I'm saying?
No, no, itchy.
No angry beavers for Melissa.
A landing strip is okay. Alright.
Yeah, my wife's got a
God.
porno strip.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's fine.
Yeah, no fucking angry beavers for me. That shit's fucking off.
I currently
if I
have
have to,
like
like,
the
dig- if
Amazon
I have to
jungle
dig
because if he doesn't care, I don't either.
Dig through the fucking forest? No. Stop it.
Yeah, but treat it like topiary, you could have a.
I've literally
peacock.
shaved bitches' pussies before. Like that's how fucking intense I am about that shit.
Yeah, I can't fucking go full on with a bush. No, mm-mm.
Oh, I got the Amazon jungle.
No,
I mean-
Jesus, no.
I mean, Thorn. I mean,
Nope, .jpeg.
I can't.
Nope.
It itches really fucking bad, and I get a rash. Okay.
Put her in.
Well,
put deodorant
No,
on
it's for help. I've done
You're
that.
not
I've
using,
done all
you're
this.
not shaving right or some shit. I don't know.
No,
I get
no,
everything
yeah.
waxed.
No,
I
I've
get
done.
shit waxed. Boy,
I've done I've waxed, I've shaved, I've used like every hypoallergenic, non-allergenic, all the allergenic shit, and I don't know what the fuck. I think I'm allergic to everything under the sun.
Hang on, isn't there a laser thing you can do? You can have it lasered.
I thought about that too, but
Expensive
yeah, I was about to say it's
But it's
expensive.
expensive.
Oh, okay.
I'm no stranger to electrolysis and lasers.
Well, I mean, I've gotten fractals on my face before and stuff, and that was fucking expensive. I couldn't imagine like laser hair removal.
Oh yeah, it's good times.
I
You know where it
do
sucks
have
most?
What?
I'll let you know. On your
What?
inner thigh. That shit will make you cry.
Oh.
That's like tattoos, isn't it?
The little
Yeah.
electrical
Yep.
zaps. when it hits your inner thigh, oh yeah, that'll let you know you're alive.
No, getting a Brazilian lets you know you're alive.
Surprisingly, that area is not sensitive.
Well, it depends how long you've waited before you get the.
I don't know. For
the
me,
update.
every time she goes into the ass, and I'm like, she goes for it, and then I see white for a second, and I pass out and pee myself a little, because there's like hot lion teeth in my ass. I can't handle that shit every time. It's like hot lion teeth in my asshole. I can't do it.
I don't wanna.
No, it's necessary though. I feel I have to do it. I have to do it. It's hygienic.
I do trim.
The guys don't. I've never felt an obligation to trim anything.
I'm sorry, if I can't see your dick in your fucking thicket, there's a problem. And I'm not. And I don't like dick. I don't like dick. But still, I know that a woman is not going to be like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to get that man in my mouth. I can't even find his penis. His fucking
But
shit's
that's
so
the point.
thick.
Mine's way outside the thicket. There is no need for that.
Fucking thicket over there, fucking choking to death."
So,
What's really funny is, I always say Andre's like a satyr.
never had a woman
down.
complain.
So I'm like, if I gotta shave, you gotta shave. And he's like, I'm not shaving. I'm just like, then I'm not shaving either.
I'm gonna be like very mean about it, honestly. Like if it's like way too fucking out there, I'm just gonna be straightforward. Just be like, trim your bush, for fuck's sake.
Oh no, I said I was like, I'm gonna be really mean and like wax his ass while he's sleeping.
I can't handle that. See, the hairy, the men are so hairy. I mean, I love you
Really
guys.
fucking hairy.
But
Well,
Jesus.
I'm sorry. Jeez.
Well, some men are. Depends, you know.
I say I wasn't very hairy before I transitioned. So
I don't know. All the men here are very hairy, so
It's not he's not hairy in the wrong place. Like I can't date a dude that has hair in his back. If you take your shirt off and it looks like a carpet, no.
That's
Well,
my best
then-
friend. Dude,
then
seriously,
they
that
tend
is
to
my
fucking
best
back.
friend. He
Yeah,
takes his
don't-
shirt off and it looks like he's still wearing a shirt.
Don't date any Albanians then. That's fine.
I love
They're
hairy
Middle Eastern people.
What
me the
potato?
hairy.
What honey?
No Greeks.
What potato?
One of the guys I dated had hair like on his arm.
Like Pauldron?
a lot.
Harry Pauldron?
Oh God! See, that's my best friend. He takes off his shirt and it just floofs up, and I'm like, dude, just put your shirt back on, please.
He's a bear.
So gross. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like,
Well,
he's a
I'm
really
sorry, I
thin,
can't fucking
tall
reach
dude who's so fucking hairy. I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, I gotta
Genetic.
say, back sweat is ugly.
No, but I actually had a friend who he had a lot of hair on his back and it looked like he was wearing a doormat.
Ugh.
Give me the hairy mans. I'll take them. I love them.
You can have him, honey.
Love.
Waist down, I'm fine. It's just like the back. The back is no.
Like I said, if I have to go through a thicket to find your clitoris or your dick, there's a problem. Not doing it.
You guys
Oh,
are
well.
all quiet now. Bye. Talked it all. Matt, you there?
What?
Oh.
People are dead.
Hey, Matt.
Hi.
And I'm the one
Uh,
playing a video game here.
Insightful conversation.
Nice leather jacket.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to add?
What, did it get too weird for you?
Do you have
No.
anything to add about other men's dicks?
Yeah,
Oh,
do you need,
ask
do
me
you
a
need to
question?
add about men's dicks or
I
The back hair.
You were asking. Sorry, I didn't hear you were asking me a question. I prefer my men shaved, but that's just my preference, personally. I like.
Are you into
smooth
men?
things. Yeah.
Are you into? Oh, you're into men. Okay, I thought it was a
I'm bi.
joke, but.
Yeah.
No, I'm bi. I have a boyfriend.
Aw. Sorry.
Do you think it's harder to date guys or easier?
I have a very limited experience with dating, but generally I've always gotten along better with guys. emotionally. They were easier to connect with.
No kidding.
But but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not like an expert in it. So
Yeah, that's why I almost it's very rare. I've only had maybe 5 girlfriends. And the rest
I've never had one. I've had sex with women,
and
but never had a girlfriend.
yeah, and that's my experience.
Vegan feminist.
I think men are better.
All my female relationships have ended with I like you as a friend, because in a relationship you're a crazy bitch.
I think that's pretty much every guy's relationship with women for the most part.
We're crazy bitches.
It's true.
Mitch,
I mean,
crazy. So you stay there. I go way over there.
Dude, I love
I will
putting my
second
dick
that
in
motion.
crazy. It's like my favorite thing on the planet is to stick my
Oh,
dick
yeah.
in crazy.
If guys didn't like to stick their dick in crazy, the human race would have died out a long fucking time ago.
Well, the beautiful thing when guys do that, they're long gone away after the fact.
Exactly. That's it. They're not leaving a message.
Yeah.
They get in the cab.
They got the cab, they're gone, they've moved on, and crazy bitch over there is all nice and crazy.
And then she moans for the rest of her life about being pregnant.
Yeah.
Jesus, cabbage.
No, that's basically the human race for the most part until now.
Someone's trying.
See, there's a man who knows what it's all about.
Yeah, most human relationships were polygamous for the most part. So.
Yep.
well, at least in
the other way around it, there's kind of a lot of dick. How are you drawing? The world's loudest marker.
Who the fuck's doing their nails?
Huffle, what are you doing, honey?
I was sanding some wood.
We
That's
can hear
calling
it.
it now.
We can hear it.
I thought you had it cut off.
Yeah.
Well, I'm done sanding.
No, that's the only reason I don't actually have a problem with polygamy, because like throughout human history, most cultures have had plural marriage. So what the fuck's the problem?
Oh, well, this is the old thing, right?
Well, the only time that it became illegal was with the religion because they wanted to have a monogamous kind of approach. So monogamy was a standard.
Well, it's kind of an odd phenomenon, because if you look at the cultures from which religions that later outlawed polygamy, their original texts actually allowed
justified.
Like if you look at the Bible, it actually allows polygamy. And it's actually quite common.
Yes.
Because that, again, was the culture of Mesopotamia.
King Solomon had
Mesopotamia was quite rich. It's actually kind of a unique situation, because in a lot of other societies, there wasn't a lot of plural marriage because you didn't have the money to. But in Mesopotamia, being a merchant was pretty common. Almost anybody and everybody was a merchant. And there was kind of, I guess, a very large middle class. So having one or two wives was quite common for that area.
Yeah, and the thing is that most of the polygamy, I mean, you can do that today, right? You can go out, you can have 3 partners. Nothing's going to stop you. It's only when you go into marriage, and marriages were originally designed for, like, you know, joining of houses, that kind of thing. You know, like wealth, you know,
property,
joining, property rights and things like that. So it was all designed around the legalities of it.
Yeah,
whereas everyone else was, quite happy to have 2 or 3 or 4 partners. That it was all going on quite merrily, but they didn't have the legal obligation.
Well,
property, and you can still do that now, right? There's nothing.
There's still parts of the world where that's still the case.
Yeah, but you can have you can be a total polygamist in modern society. The only way that you can be a polygamist is by getting married. Right? If you don't get married, you can't be a polygamist. You can have 10 partners. You're not technically a polygamist. You can't get taken to court for being a polygamist.
I think if I was, I think I could have multiple girlfriends, but I don't think I could have multiple boyfriends.
Again, that's
only have one.
Yeah, that same. I just couldn't with men.
Well, I'm saying it doesn't matter. But, polygamy, whichever, brand you choose.
They're gonna fucking fight.
But
Too much testosterone.
I've toyed.
The only
I
way
don't
that
like
polygamy
the-
exists is because of marriage. Marriage was created in order to prevent polygamy, right?
I'm way too possessive, polygamist.
Yeah, so am I.
I've toyed with the idea of having or bringing a cisgender girl into our relationship.
I just couldn't date a cook. Like,
I've toyed with the idea.
I just don't like beta males. Like, beta males be gone.
Well, most don't like the beta males. That's a pretty basic. But the problem is
Yeah,
that
it's
the
the
beta
soy
males
boys.
actually control most of society, and they're the ones that actually will produce. The alpha
Is a
males.
tranny a
will-
beta male? Technically, is a
It's
tranny a beta male?
It said in the Bible, the meek shall inherit the earth. They actually meant the geek.
Yeah, they meant the geek.
The spelling mistake.
Yes.
Is
I don't think all geeks are
No.
though. You know.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I mean, I'm a bit of a geek, but I dress like this, so.
Travis is a geek and kind of dresses like one, but he's definitely not a beta male.
Yeah, well, there's two types of geeks: the ones who actually are, and the ones who are considered within the community.
Yeah, they're the ones that actually do, and they're the ones who
That pose as a geek, who use it as a
Oh, like the male feminists?
No, there are levels
There you
in
go.
terms of geekdom. You have geeks, nerds, and dweebs. Okay, there's a 3-tier system.
Yes, actually, it's actually 4, but
I wouldn't know.
Well,
man.
yes.
I'm a little bit of all of them, but not too much of any of them.
Yeah, well, it's an aristocracy.
Let's just
I'm like a
not
redneck
sugarcoat it. Like
goth,
I'm a loser. I'm a
kind of.
loser. Like that's what I am. I'm a
Mhm.
fucking loser.
No, you're not, Benny.
Benny,
No,
shut
like-
up.
No, you're
but
not.
like what I
Benny,
mean-
you're not a loser. You're a fat loser.
You're a
Fat
sweetheart.
cat.
Cabbage, shut up.
No,
Benny
what
is
I
such a
mean is like,
sweetheart.
what I mean is like, you know, I'm a geek, I'm a nerd,
She's
I'm a
pink knighting
metalhead,
you.
I'm like a bunch of fucking things. So like basically like if I don't sugarcoat it, I'm a fucking loser.
No.
We're all fucking
I'm not
losers,
ashamed.
I'm Benny.
I'm not fucking ashamed of it. I'm not. But like if you gotta like look at like logistics of it, yeah, you can consider that.
Yeah, well, you can turn it around if you wanted to. You're not stupid.
No, I can't.
You're a smart guy. Yeah, you can. You can do whatever the fuck you want because you're not a stupid guy. I mean, everyone knows that. So stop playing.
Are you sure about that?
Fucking whiny bitch.
That's the nicest thing Cabbage is ever going to say to you.
He's a fucking liar.
That's it. I just topped out.
It's so
right
fucking true. It is so fucking true.
Aw.
Everyone's so nice to me. I wonder why.
That was nice.
Like
You only took it the
fucking
right way.
moron.
That was being nice.
Jesus. We like you, you dipshit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stop
Benny,
being
you're
such a
pretty.
whiny cunt.
Great.
You are pretty. I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can't,
This is becoming like a fucking
you
orgy.
can't take a compliment.
It sounds like a self-help session.
Potato, I'm sorry I took over your stream. I'm sorry.
We all did.
Yeah, we all kind of jacked
did it.
Potato's stream.
I invited you here.
Well, it's. I mean,
I
it's
started it. I'm
it's
sorry.
Darkwood's fault that I'm here. So
Yes, it is my fault. I apologize. Not really, but you know. Hey.
I have no idea. I'm late to the party as usual.
I just
I'm as
shut up.
quiet as I normally am in streams.
What we didn't get to talk about is like because there are so many options now lately that people kind of, you know, there's so many choices about who you can date that they've kind of become pickier and like pickier than their actual like own market value in a way
Yep.
as well. You know what I mean?
So, like, you think
I
they
don't know if it's all
They'll
about pickiness.
people are
drop-
over?
Like the first time any issue comes up in a relationship, they'll drop it. Like a mistake I see a lot of people do is they'll like ask people on like Facebook about their relationship, and you say anything bad about it, and then everyone was like, dump him now, he's toxic, he's an asshole. And they're all kind of projecting from their own really like bad past experiences or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
if there is a problem, like, talk to that person.
fix it. Like, when you
Problem
get a flat
is
tire,
that,
you don't throw away the entire car. You know what I'm saying?
well, for some
Yeah.
they would, and just get a brand new car.
But that seems to be what the
Saudi
society has
Arabians.
become, you know?
Well, I
We're a
mean,
car society.
that's true in some sense that like you don't want to run at like the first sign of having an issue, but like at the same time, if you're just entering into a relationship and you realize that, oh hey, this person is really not as compatible with me as I thought, and you decide to leave, like I don't think that's necessarily the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Like,
It depends how you
get
get
out
into the
early, like,
relationship.
it's not working.
Well,
Mhm.
when
But that's
you look
like,
at it,
that's
some
kind of
conservatives would say the factor that we get into relationships based off of sex. Others would say it's we're not fully committed to the individual for understanding who they are, so we have to take our time
Yeah.
with said relationship. There's a lot of different factors that come into play on how a successful relationship will be. How committed you are personally to said relationship will determine what your relationships will be in the future. How many times have I said relationship?
Well,
Too many.
pure
Well, the thing is,
determination
what
can
happens to wooing? You remember
pure
people
determination can
court-
keep you in a relationship. That doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be a good relationship.
Yeah,
Like,
but people
I
used
had
to court each other before they ended up, doing the dirty.
That's what I
There was
did
a
for 10
courting
years.
period.
Just courting with dick.
Okay, hold up though. But they also
Oh yeah,
used
but you wouldn't court
Wait,
somebody
hold
who
on,
was a
let
dick
me
for 10 years.
say something. Can I say something? Like no,
No.
people used to court each other to do this sort of formal process, marry the person, not get along with them, but it's too late because it's set in stone, and then like I
Well,
mean
not
that was very
necessarily, 'cause
common,
Henry VIII, he was able to
especially
kill
in Rome. I mean, in Rome, you couldn't marry for love, so people ended up getting married.
For God's
Their
sake,
fathers would hook up the relationship, and then they
So
would.
you're going back to what? 200
But Rome, they were
BC.
marrying for actual titles.
That's really fucking pertinent. That's really current year.
No, that's not what I'm
Travis, you're an
talking about.
asshole.
You brought up courting. Courting goes back a
I'll
long
say
way.
wooing, courting, whichever one you want to call it.
Well, okay, so you're talking about taking a longer time to form a relationship. Well, okay, that's not
Build
a
a
problem.
relationship.
I waited a month before I fucked my wife. I usually fuck on the first date.
See?
So,
Did it work?
I mean,
See? Worked out better?
but then I don't care. If you fuck on the first date, that's your prerogative. I don't give a shit. I used to do it.
Yeah, but screwing around is one thing, but getting into the actual heart of the relationship is something totally different.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
I don't think how fast you get in bed with the person really determines the healthiness of the relationship.
no, I agree with you.
I don't know.
No, it's true because of the fact when it comes
Whether you
down
take
to
your
it, just,
time or
when, you,
not,
when you take
that's
sex
not
as
my-
sex, it's just that's what it is. But if you want to get further into the relationship, you have to know who that person is.
Yeah, you have to get to know them. You have to talk to them, to spend time with them. Yeah, that's
And that's
basically
what a lot of current relationships is missing. Is the time that would normally be spent, and that time that they're normally be spent, they're playing like teenage children for the most part, gooing and guying and touching their naughty bits, but they're not learning anything.
Naughty bits.
Yes, touch the naughty bits.
Yes, the back of the bike sheds, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So you're basically saying that a lot of relationships are just pure
Childish.
sex. They're getting
Yeah, well, a lot of them are just-
they're getting a
Not so
girlfriend or a
much,
boyfriend only so they can have someone to fuck instead of actually forming a meaningful relationship with the person in between fucking.
But it depends what you call a relationship, I guess. When you meet somebody in a nightclub and you end up fucking on the first date, and then you see them for the next couple of months or something on and off, is that really a relationship?
It's a relationship of a sort. I mean, everything is to some extent a relationship. It's just not necessarily a good or decent or strong relationship.
If I want to, one night stands, if you want to fuck and you want to come, I mean, that's what a one night stand is for. But if you actually want to build a relationship and actually be with that person, it takes time and it takes a lot. It takes effort. Like I said at the beginning of this stream, it takes so much work to build a relationship and to keep it.
Yeah, but Wolfie, the thing is, right, if two people go into a nightclub, a guy goes in just wanting, you know, one night stand, just to have a fuck, and the girl comes in and she wants to kind of have a relationship, they have no idea about what each other's ideas are, and she might end up in the bed and he gets what he wants, and, you know, she hopes for what she's going to get, and it, you know, this is where the problems come in. Because people are coming in with, you know, different diametrically opposed things, because there's nothing, you know, nothing structured. Really. You know, it's weird that, you know, the old family, you know, like people that you know and stuff like that, which is, I mean, the best relationships. I saw a study about it. You know, the people who end up in relationships in high school in America end up with the most, like, you know, solid family lives in the future.
That's because they actually took the time to know that said person.
Well, no, because they grew up with each other.
Again, that's knowing that person. They learned that individual.
Oh, it's like what I said earlier. I grew up with my wife, essentially.
Yeah.
If you grow up knowing somebody, and then you end up forming a romantic relationship after knowing them for a while, that helps. Like I knew my boyfriend for almost a year before we got together, like just as friends. So, I mean, the same with my sister and her boyfriend. They knew each other for, I think, a little over a year before they got together. And then they have a very strong relationship that's been going for a few years now. So
what are we saying here, that the conservatives have figured it out?
Oh, hardly, no. They have the conservatives have just as much divorce. I
know, but most of them are always going to be coming. They're always kind of focusing on the moral basis.
I don't think it's necessarily the moral basis. I think the factor is, again, the time that and effort you put into the relationship. I don't think it has to be. I don't know where the moral basis comes in. Again, it's a pure.
For them, it's more or less religious.
Purely your effort. If you put your effort into getting to know that person and actually emotionally forming bonds with them, that's not going to necessarily go out the window.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with morality, because it's really just about, you know, how you feel about another person. You know, the morality thing is just basically where you're putting your pee-pee.
I mean, if it came down to the conservative morality, I wouldn't be able to form the sort of relationship with my boyfriend that I have. They would basically say, "Oh, no, you can't possibly have a healthy gay relationship. That can't be a thing." But yeah, I do. So it's not that.
Dude, my wife's parents, that's all they would fucking tell her and me. It's like, I've never met a happy gay person. Your relationship will never blah blah blah. That, and the other thing. And I'm like, we're here 15 years later, bitch. You ain't getting rid of me. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that all the fucking time. It's like, I'm not going anywhere. I mean, I was arrested for trespassing like fucking 8 times. I don't know. I wasn't going anywhere. Fuck. I'm like, I am in love with your daughter. I don't know what else to say.
That's called dedication.
Yeah. Oh, you see, that's called courting.
That's about to say that's just called being a mate.
That's the right word.
That's just you know, par for the course, getting arrested.
That's just what the bloke of a relationship does. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's a gay relationship or not. There's still a masculine and feminine role.
Which usually is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
No, but there are no genders, so it's all good.
No, there's millions of genders.
Oh yeah, sorry.
There is only one gender, sir.
Motherfucking goddamn helicopter, okay, guys?
There's only one gender, sir.
What is the gender, Huffle?
Sir.
Oh. That's nice.
Do potatoes have genders?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Call me sir. That's fucking time.
Except you can call me boy or goin.
Goy.
Call you nigger.
Hey, goy.
Oh god, cabbage.
Hey, no, it was a soft. It was a soft R. That was an A.
It was a soft R. It was a soft ER.
It's pathetic, isn't it?
Oh
So,
my
new
god.
person
How much of it?
to our stream. How's it going? Are your thoughts?
Pirate.
Oh no, Pirate will be like,
What
he's
did she
playing
say?
games.
I have no idea what she said.
I don't know what she said. I don't know what Pirate said.
I was just gonna say, oh my god, Wolf, how much of a headache do you still have after watching that fucking stream with Destiny?
I don't want to talk about
That's
that.
awful.
Who's Destiny?
Okay.
Holy
Pirate,
what the fuck?
Omni Destiny.
I've heard of that vaguely. I'm a bit disconnected from most of the drama.
Oh, be glad you are.
Dumpster fire.
Fucking pussy ass
Dumpster fire.
bitch.
Oh, with,
Fucking never worked a day in his life. Talking
Wait,
about.
do you mean there's more drama on YouTube than there was before?
I mean, this guy was a real piece of fucking work.
Yeah,
So is he on Twitter? Should I look him
His
up?
mental gymnastics were just absolutely fucking ridiculous.
I
I
don't
was
know.
too
I'm in the same loss here.
I once mixed him up with Omnipolitic.
Skeptic
I once thought he
centrist
was Omnipolitic.
Stephen Bunnell the second. That's that you're talking about?
Huh?
Skeptic centrist? What?
I typed in Omni Destiny on Twitter and it came up with Stephen Bunnell the second.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's Steven.
I know not of this person.
he is a bitch boy.
Is he a soy boy?
Yeah, he's the faggot I want to fucking curb stomp.
Is he a soy
So
boy?
just basically, he's one of many that populate either the Twitter space or the YouTube space.
He's on
Okay.
YouTube making $2,000 a fucking month
Playing games.
streaming games.
Okay.
only $2,000 a month, and I when he said that, I flat out was yelling in my truck.
Only $2,000 a month. I'm like, dude, if I could get $2,000 a month, I would shit my fucking pants right.
Yeah, seriously, right? Fuck.
2,000 a month. I make
No,
that
it's like
in a
PewDiePie.
couple
I
of
mean,
weeks.
how much does PewDiePie get every week?
Dude, Pewds has fucking earned that though. He has climbed from nothing to that. I
Yeah,
watched.
not because he was there in the early days. He was one of the early, he was. It's like the people who went west earliest. You know what I mean?
Pewds is actually thankful for the amount that he gets.
Yeah.
Omni Destiny isn't thankful.
I'm not dissing the man. I'm not. I think Pewdie is cool, but still. I mean, that amount of money for doing what?
For being
You got
hot.
You play. I guess you play a game and people watch you like.
And he's trying to school somebody else on, hard work and shit like that. It was awful. It was god awful. I'm like, bitch, you never worked a day in your goddamn life. He's probably got the softest hands ever, I bet.
So
no,
seriously.
Seriously. It's like that scene in Jaws where Quint grabs the kid's hands and is like, "You've been counting money your whole life." That's exactly what
Bernie
that bitch
Sanders
is.
of YouTube.
No, wait, wasn't Bernie Sanders at least affiliated with the military in some way?
Sanders?
No,
No.
He ran. He was the head of the VET, I think it is called.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no, I think I'm
Has
thinking.
never held a gun in his life.
I think I'm thinking of McCain. My bad.
The only
Yeah,
job
McCain was,
that Sanders ever had was a government job.
Yeah, he was a couch surfer until he was like in his 40s or something. He was a fucking hippie reactionary.
I fucking hate American politics.
Fucking
I find American politics amusing.
I do too, because it just becomes a better and better joke as each day progresses.
For me, when they were electing their president for the last,
It's a joke, and so people
I
start
kind of
rioting.
called that Donald Trump was going to win. I put
at
money
least-
down on that one.
Wait a minute. Our
least
poll
we're not Scotland.
Trump, when
Like-
Canada elected fucking Justin Trudeau, a walking fucking vagina.
Oh, we already
Yeah.
knew he was
Fucking
walking
serious?
fucking
Yeah.
again. Do you realize who we had before him?
Yeah, he's a cunt.
It doesn't get any better.
At least we're not
because you go
Scotland.
backwards, it gets worse.
You know, that's what annoys me, really. At least American. Like
Dude, you know what? Fuck it. Sylvester Stallone for
We
president.
laugh at it, right?
Yeah, it might be interesting.
We still take ours seriously. That's the problem. You know what I mean? We're actually thinking that these people are working on our behalf. I mean, you kind of got to the point where you realize that they're all just fucking you over anyway.
That's right.
You know, we're still working on the belief that, you know, no, really, they're probably just
We
chat.
have C-SPAN.
No, fuck that.
We can hear them jerking each other off in Congress 24/7.
It's worse here because Ireland does too, and we're so bad. Like we shouldn't be allowed to rule ourselves.
We need more cynicism over here.
Yeah, in Canada, we
Yeah,
all
but,
know they're all jerking themselves off. We don't care anymore.
To relationships, would you date someone who was unemployed?
Have
Yeah,
done
I
that,
wouldn't have a
you-
problem with that.
I would.
Yeah. I've dated a woman who was unemployed with a child, actually. 6 years.
If they weren't like doing shit with themselves, and I know that some people will like.
Well, hang on. What is the doing shit with themselves? What does that mean?
If they're not working, they get really depressed. If they're not like doing things with their life, if they're not like happy in their life, and so many guys when they're not working,
No, I'm not gonna. No, I wouldn't date a morose, unemployed person. But you know, somebody's a happy-go-lucky, which
Most
I did.
of them are, you know.
Well, I don't know.
But I would date someone if they were unemployed, but that's just because I'm okay with that dynamic.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
'Cause I would
Depends. I mean, if the person's looking for a job or something, I have no problem with that.
Correct.
I mean-
To each their own. I mean, when it comes down to it.
Some people just have horrible luck with finding work.
Yeah, but yeah, because they don't try.
Or they could be like Bernie Sanders and just trip over it.
Yeah, that's okay. There's always a sofa.
I mean, there are people who genuinely do try to find work and can't. So you can't just
welcome to my world.
chalk it up to.
This last week, I put in 15 applications.
Yeah,
Phone call.
I currently only
Well, I had
have
one interview.
a weekend job, so.
I had one interview, and needless to say, it's not hard for them to figure out my T when they have my driver's license. And it's like, okay, time to have that weird fucking conversation at a job interview.
Yeah, but is that a hindrance to you or to the actual employer? Because most of them, when they look at something like that, will automatically see problems and drama, and they don't need that.
Wait, what are we talking about? Problems and drama.
I mean, this is the reason that people don't want social justice warriors anymore. I mean, corporations are like they're putting in questions now, so they can weed out the kind of crazy purple-haired, lunatics, because they're sick and tired of the kind of shit that they bring.
What
into
are
the
your
company.
pronouns?
They are toxic.
That's one of them.
They keep working on
Yeah,
tying
exactly.
all these communities in with social justice, and it's harming the people in those communities who aren't doing all that.
This
crazy
is where,
stuff.
where it
Well,
becomes
bring down
a
the
problem.
companies. They damage other people's
Yeah,
income.
all I want to do is put my head down and fucking work, you know? That's it. That's all I want to do.
Shit, I've got a fucking mohawk and I've got visible tattoos and invisible piercings. It's like, don't lump me with that shit. I know what I'm doing, and that's how I got the job I have now.
Hold on, Wolfshot. Tell them about this.
What, you mean working for the mainstream media?
Looks.
I make $45 an hour though, Cabbage. So you can go.
Yeah,
fuck
but you're
yourself.
working for the mainstream media. You see?
That's right, I am.
why.
I'm a tech analyst. That's right.
Uh-huh.
But wait,
Because,
but wait,
they got
wait,
their quota system.
There is no quota, but that's all right.
You
I actually
don't
had
know.
to do
Could be in
something
the
to get the
background.
job. I assure you.
I'm glad that
But wait,
you found something that actually works
Going
with you.
back to the tattoos. Tell them about the one specific one that gets the most looks.
God, why do you have to be such an asshole, Benny? I have a rebel flag on my arm. It's tattooed.
But it's my favorite. It's my favorite tattoo.
It's not.
You ask me, that's the best tattoo you got.
Not
Oh, right. The questionable tattoo for you guys down that way. Right.
Yeah, it's. You can see it if I lift my sleeve, but
It's all right.
Well, why would that even
gathered
be?
the
It should never even
Rebel
be a
tattoo
problem.
itself.
because I work with black people that don't understand. That's
Actually, here's the weird thing.
That's 100% of what happens.
Yeah.
That's pathetic. Yeah, really. And yeah, but have you ever had anyone got really offended by your tattoo? Ever?
Probably.
In your life? No, I mean, like,
Probably.
if you've been in a store. No, I'm saying. Well, you wouldn't know probably. I'm saying, have you ever had anyone?
Oh,
you know,
black guy
took
grabbed
offense to.
me. Some black guy grabbed me and was like, because I was wearing a tank top going into fucking the drugstore, and it was visible. And he's like, "Why do you have that tattooed on your arm?" And I was reaching for my
grabbed you?
side. Yeah, he fucking grabbed my arm. Was like, "What the fuck is that, boy?" Because I look very masculine. And I'm like, "It's none of your goddamn business. You don't let me go. You're gonna meet the business end of this fucking 45." And I called the cops, and that was that. It hasn't been that bad until recently.
Well, again, it's because of the narrative being pushed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The race war's been fucking kicked back
I mean,
up.
I can remember
Biden.
because I live in the South, barely, but
Where do you live, Matt?
I live in Virginia, so
So do
like
I. Where?
hey, Northern Virginia.
Oh, okay. I live in
Yeah.
southern coastal.
Okay, yeah, I know where that is. I used to travel a lot doing search and rescue. So
I have a map. I
I've
know
been
where
all
that
over
is. I can
Virginia
send
doing search and rescue stuff. But so like I live now in the northern, more liberal area of Virginia, and I can remember when, you know, in my youth, when it used to kind of be understood that the rebel flag wasn't I don't want to say something incorrectly, but it used to be this understanding that it was kind of a heritage thing. Like it wasn't.
It's pride. It's southern
right.
pride.
It's the Southern pride thing, and the Southern pride thing was not. It's been warped today, but it used to be because you understood that people died under that flag.
Correct.
Right. And there were people like Stonewall Jackson who were, you know, they were considered heroes for dying for you know, on the battlefield. And now we're kind of diving into the politics of like, oh, but weren't they fighting for slavery? And
no, there was actually more reasons in that than just slavery.
I know there were. I'm a history geek. I know it's more than that. But I mean, like the modern narrative is talking about like, oh, it's all about slavery. So if you have the Confederate flag, it's a dog whistle. Where,
wasn't it
you know,
only 3 states that gave slavery as a reason?
Anyway, the Confederate flag is not the Confederate. Right? Is it the battle flag that you have?
It's the stars and bars. The stars and bars.
Okay, right.
It's a battle flag. It's a battle flag. It's not the flag of the Confederacy.
Right. Yeah. So the one that people commonly flag is not the flag of the, you know, the government of the Confederacy, which did in its constitution basically enshrine slavery. It's the battle flag that people died under. And
it's a battle
It was
flag.
Lee's infantry specifically, wasn't it?
It's a battle flag.
It was the battle flag of Northern Virginia.
It's a battle flag that a abolitionist flew.
So that's kind of it's kind of again taken on the this narrative now of that, like they don't know the nuance of the history of the time and why people now would.
Yeah, but that's at fault for who? It's the lefties on one side of the Democratic side who's saying you don't need to know this shit because all it is about racism and slavery. So them South are bad, and those on the South who are trying to raise their children with the history in that. It's the same thing that happened in Germany when it came down to Nazism. If you don't go into the history of why it actually started, was created.
But Canadian, that's the point, right?
Here's another thing. Here's another thing that people forget, that you didn't volunteer for the Confederate Army. Like the people who died in that war, they did not choose.
No, actually, the black people did, right? Because they got given.
Well, you had
options for arms,
200,000
right?
blacks.
There was conscription on both sides.
Yeah, there was, and the black people.
But also remember the militia. When Virginia seceded, we took our militia out of the Union Army. So it wasn't like when you signed up in a state, you signed up to that state, not to the federal government. You were each state basically acted like the city states in Greece. You each gave a little bit to the army, and when the states left the Union, they took their army back. So that's what happened with Lee. That's why he went to the South, was because his state went to the South. It was not because he was racist. It was because he was.
Wasn't he
Well, no, he
offered
was
to
committed to the Union. That's the whole point. Lee went down because he was committed to the Union.
Hey Matt, what's your Twitter handle?
Lord Goddaddy.
Thank you.
Doing
Wasn't,
research about General
Lord
Lee actually
Goddaddy.
shows that-
Oh
Yes.
my God! How much do you hold yourself?
General Lee was likely one of the least racist people of that time, relatively speaking.
I mean, wasn't he against?
Lincoln was pretty racist.
Wasn't he against secession and actually offered a position or to lead the?
Yes, he was
Northern
against
Army?
secession, and he was offered a position on the Union, but he denied it out of loyalty to his state, and that was against very, very much that was part of the culture of the time, was again loyalty to the state. So when the state left the Union, you went with the state.
And if it weren't for that, you wouldn't have the Dukes of Hazzard. So
Yeah, Lee was very much.
Hey, don't you be making fun of the boy.
Lee was very much against slavery, but he just fought for his state, is all. Wherever his home was, he fought.
Yeah.
I followed you on Twitter, Matt.
I followed you back.
Yay.
Thanks.
The Twitter whores.
Yeah, I thought I read that somewhere. Like he was actually offered to lead the Union Army. I know he was against secession.
No,
Are you guys all cool with like tattoos and piercings here and
definitely.
purple hair, dyed hair?
Oh yeah.
No, you can't have any tattoos or any piercings, or you're the fucking devil.
You have to be 100% natural.
Hail Satan.
I plan to get quite a few tattoos on my arms. I just don't have the
It's kind
money.
of funny because most men would rather have women who are not heavily tattooed for the most part.
Absolutely.
Most women would rather have
Thank you.
men
And
who are
especially
slightly
not
heavily
some
tattooed.
fucking tramp stamp.
Thank
No,
God
tramp
that
stamp-
I love women and fuck you guys.
Tramp stamps are not attractive, seriously.
I don't have one of those.
Look, let me be
I
honest.
definitely like ink on the arms or the sides. That's definitely.
Well, it depends what it is.
But it does have to be very tasteful. I like Celtic type tattoos, and the knots and things like that. So it's got to be tasteful.
I've got a lot of them.
So you like a lot of Irish things?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm mostly Irish and Scandinavian.
Like the Celtic stuff.
Yeah, that's my heritage. So.
Put the fucking mix everywhere.
I mean, for me personally,
I mean, yeah, I am too. I'm an American. That's kind of what happens. Just take a bunch of genetics and put it in a pot.
Throw it
and mix
together
it up
and throw it on
like,
a wall and then throw it on the wall and see what happens.
Smoke a bomb and then, work out what the fuck the result was.
like with me personally, nothing turns me on more than a girl with tattoos and piercings. But that's just me.
Yeah, but what kind of piercings? I mean, that's the thing. Like
Well,
nipple
I
thing.
mean-
I don't get that. I just don't get it.
I mean,
I have my nipples pierced. Get over it.
Nose.
the one
I
thing
don't get the
that
nose
the one
thing
thing that I
either.
will have.
I've
the
got
one
my
thing that I
septum
will have-
pierced.
The one thing that I will have an
I mean, you
issue
just
with.
look like
is-
a cow being, guided through a field.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm not fucking you, Cabbage.
I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, like,
I wouldn't fuck you anyway, even if you
Yeah, I
asked.
wouldn't fuck you with a koala's dick.
Yeah. See, at least we're in agreement.
Yeah. You don't even know what I look like.
No, I mean, I really don't care. I know enough about you.
Yeah, I know enough about you, you fucking
There
asshole.
you go. So
I know
we're in agreement. We're in agreement. We will not fuck each other. What's your problem?
Thank God.
Yeah.
I bet you look like a dick. I bet you look like a dick with ears. How much you want to bet?
I mean, the thing with me is the one issue I will have.
Wouldn't
is,
even
like,
rape each other.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
No.
With me, I like gauges, but I don't like the ones that are like too fucking big. You know what I mean?
Oh no gauges for me.
I have tapers. I don't have plugs. I got tapers.
Yeah, that's fine. That's definitely fine.
I hate those giant ear tattoos that are popular right now, like the massive hole in your ear.
Yeah, the tunnels.
But you got people who do those kind of, like they turn themselves into lizards or all kinds of weird shit. You know what I mean?
So what are you telling me that
body
you like that
piercing
kind of
stuff
stuff?
goes, no, I don't. I think it's fucking
sure? 'Cause
stupid.
you really kind of protest the logic. I really think
I
you
really
secretly
don't. No,
like
that's the
this.
whole point. I
He
don't have
does.
a
He
single
loves it.
tattoo.
He loves fat chicks that have purple hair and piercings and tattoos. I promise.
That's right. Apparently, I love everything I've told you I don't like.
I mean,
like that
And
makes
he
sense.
loves traps. He loves traps.
Traps are always
He
good.
loves traps.
Our gay straps.
We
Our gay straps. I'm definitely a trap.
Some of them
I don't
are.
know.
Some of them are.
The only people who don't like traps are the people who haven't been with a trap. So
No, it's Cabbage.
Yeah, see, Melissa and Sai, they're very, very attractive traps. I would.
This has been fun, guys.
I'm sorry. If I was with somebody and somebody turned out with a dick, like some fucking Thai thing. No, I'm sorry, but
It's got to make Cabbage jealous.
I don't know. If you're hot, it doesn't matter.
No, it does. Because at the end of the day, you have expectations, and if those expectations are dashed, then there are consequences.
Cabbage. Is it one of those issues where Cabbage? Is it one of those issues where she's got to be bigger than you? Is that what the problem is?
Oh my God!
You see,
you guys are fucking savage.
Because I really don't want the things that you want. All right.
That was so brutal that Matt Machine left the call apparently.
He was leaving. And I need to leave as well. I'm gonna go.
So.
I'm gonna watch anime and be with my wife as well. So
what
thanks
kind
for
of
inviting
anime?
me on, Potato.
Cool. I want to sleep actually because it's 4 a.m. here. So.
No, it's not. I thought it was 4:30.
Yeah, 4 a.m. here. Yeah.
Y'all have a good night.
4:05.
I mean, it's all right.
Yeah, you're GMT too, Potato. Anyway, Potato, you're not originally Irish anyway, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Are you? You don't have the accent.
I was born in Galway.
She does,
grew up in
but it's not
Galway
as
my whole
strong.
life. A thoroughbred Galway girl. Both my parents are Irish.
Yeah, she has the accent, but it's not as strong as you think it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's just.
I don't know why it is like this. Growing up on TV or whatever, I don't know.
No, it depends. It's the same thing. It depends on whereabouts you are. Because in Canada we have the variances of the lingos and the jargons.
Yeah, we have that. We got like Scousers and Mancunians, and we have Geordies and shit.
When I was in
Irish, are normally pretty identifiable, but you have absolutely zero. You sound more American than you do Irish. That's for sure.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
When I was in Ireland, there were people that thought that I was native Irish.
Yeah, but that's because you played a part.
I pick up accents where I go, so wherever I go, I pick up accents.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things that I don't say properly though, like I can't do the TH sound. So.
I mean,
what? Like you? Oh, like you can't say 3, like that.
3.
No, it's not 3 in Irish.
I kind of understand your pain.
Are you talking about the Gaelic?
Tree. It's tree.
It's tree.
No, tray. It's like.
How do Irish people say tree then?
Tree. That's how I say it.
Yeah, but they say tree, but they don't go tray. You see, tray.
Oh, it sounds like tree.
Jesus.
It sounds exactly like tree.
What are you saying?
Tray and tree. There's difference. Tray and tree. Different.
Who says tree? No one says tree.
Yes, they do.
I say
Go to
tree.
Belfast.
I've heard a few people say tree.
That's not real Irish. That's fucking Northern Irish.
There you go.
Even the Irish don't like each other.
Like the island's even that fucking big.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but it is partitioned.
it's actually different country now. So
They are.
Yeah,
no,
I know.
they
It
are
is
very
all different
different, and they are, culturally, there has been.
I'm just saying that is a very small place to have such a cultural difference like that.
There is no different than anywhere else. It's no different than Lebanon or Israel.
like go to the west of Ireland and then go to the south of Ireland, and they're completely different too.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't sound like I have an accent, and then you go down to like Kerry and you have the diddly doodly diddly accent.
Diddly diddly daggly. I love that.
Okay.
Diddly diddly
I know.
daggly.
Oh my Jesus! No, I know exactly what she's talking about. I had
Yeah, I
a
know
grandfather with that kind of fucking accent, and you just could not understand what the fuck he was ever talking about. For the love of God!
I was just thinking about that. What's that drum that they have over there? You know, the one with you got like a stick and you bounce it off the skin. You hold in your hand. What is that? That drum? Come on, Hot.
Are you talking the Boron?
No, the drum, the vertical thing. No, the whole.
Yeah, it's a Boron, right?
Is it a Boron?
Yeah.
That's not the name I know it by.
Okay.
All right. Anyway.
Well, what name do you know it by?
Something else, like, I don't know.
I don't know. I'll find out. I'll check it out. Anyway, the Irish and the Liverpudlians are very, very similar in many ways.
Is this what you're talking about? This instrument here?
Which one? Can you post a link? Because I'm not seeing shared screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll check that out.
That's what I thought he was talking about too.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that is.
Yeah,
how does it look? Yeah. I think that. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
A Boron with the sipping.
It's great.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, it's really good.
I only have
like Irish music.
I only have 2 requests of people from Ireland. Send me porridge and send me blackcurrant jam. That's my only request from Ireland.
Porridge and blackcurrant.
My request is to bring me the fuck home, please. Just bring me to the island.
No,
Except-
what about whiskey? Whiskey.
Yeah,
I'll drink when I'm there.
There's a lot better things. There's a lot better things than that. I don't understand why you.
The Irish version of the TSA, they took away my blackcurrant jam with sloe gin. They threw it away. I didn't have blackcurrant jam with sloe gin when I got home because the Irish version of the TSA took it away.
Isn't it? Well, that's technically a fluid, right?
Well, no, it's a jam. I mean, if it was a sealed item anyway, it should be okay.
It was sealed. I got it from the Giant's Causeway.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this broadcast now. So,
okay.
You want to say goodbye, anyone?
Goodbye.
Bye.
No, bye.